Follow the wizard to a wonderful world of family entertainment with Lily. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion. Alexander the Great. Rhino. Gypsy Colt. Zebra in the Kitchen. Plus many, many more feature films for the entire family.
Each week a new adventure.
A magic carpet ride.
That's loads of fun for everyone.
With a wizard as your guide. Yes.
Hello.
Why, hello.
You can't pull anything on me this week.
Nope. Never gonna try again.
And I got a new chair too, so.
Wow.
I hear, okay, so let me know if it's the chair works, because now it's not working.
No, that's
but
not
now
good.
I'm settled in it. What's that?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think the thing was settling with the other one too.
That, ostensibly, you could say that was the problem, ostensibly. I like to use a word a day, ostensibly. How you doing?
Oh, yummy noises with the beverage.
And you know what else is good about the beverage?
No ice. I know, because you're a team goddamn player is what you are.
Well, I think that's a low bar for saying a team player. You know what I mean?
You got to start somewhere.
But I didn't do. There's other things I could have done early on in the pod. Well, I would never have done that in your house, but like maybe I go, hey, that piece of mail, I have to open it. I'll bring it in with me, and then during downtime, I'll open it during the podcast. That doesn't work.
No, but you do it with email now, so.
No, I don't do it with email. I was doing it with Safari. Is that what you meant?
No, I was just kidding, really.
Oh, you got me. Because there's always something I'm doing wrong. It's almost like you can't lose with that assault. Not assault, but you know what I mean, tactic.
Well, none of this is going very well so far, I have to say.
How do you don't think this is good?
No,
People
I really
love
don't.
This.
I really feel like sort of dead inside.
Well, here's what I have the perfect remedy. When I give you the good news, you just won $1 million. I don't know what kind of good news. Well, maybe real good news would cheer you up.
It might.
But you weren't cheered down. You weren't cheered down coming in.
No. I mean, now I'm a little, after that little adrenaline rush from the $1 million.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Saw my kid, came over. That was good to see him. Mother's Day, of course, which I'm sure wasn't fun for you or Susan.
Yeah. No, it was not. But I have to say I didn't think about it at all.
Oops, I mean.
No, I mean, I thought about it. Like my brother said, it's very sad that this is happening. And I agree with him. But for some reason, my stuff is sometimes won't come up on it when you think it would, right? Well, here's the first Mother's Day without my mother, but then Mother's Day was never.
That's the thing is that and I think that's good. I mean, I think that shows emotional integrity on your part, because a lot of people would drama queen out just because the day is sitting right there.
Well, no, you wouldn't put that past me to use a thing to get more sympathy, would you?
I wouldn't past you, but I'm praising you for not doing it.
Well, no, what I'm actually did that in there, which I think is progress as a human being, is my first instinct is to say, yes, it was sad on Mother's Day, but then I thought, what's the truth? The truth is I didn't feel it. That doesn't mean I didn't feel grief, but I didn't feel it triggered by the day. Now, when her birthday comes up and things like that, I'm sure it's going to be.
The triggers happen, but that wasn't one for me either. It wasn't one for me really either. In fact, I've gone the other way with Mother's Day, and I've called it like the one good thing about my mother being dead is I don't have that obligation.
I think it's kind of there's something about the holiday that feels commercialized by its very definition.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be commercialized if it was commercial at its inception.
Is that what it was?
Pretty much.
It was a Hallmark thing?
I mean, I think that was the only time it gained any real traction. I think, two women came up with it in the 1920s or something, but it only perpetuated itself by greeting card sales.
I would say that I semi have bought into both of them in a way. When my parents were alive, I kind of wanted to make a gesture, so I liked that part of it.
Well, you
So
you have to make a gesture, because it's basically a landmine waiting for you to step on through your inactivity.
You don't go to holidays with the holidays you want to have. You go to the holidays with the holidays you have. And we, in this country, I'm a huge fan of Christmas, as you know, and almost too much so because I sound offensive. Right. But the other holidays, I'm trying to think if there's any holiday. I don't really enjoy many holidays. I like Easter.
You like to birthday up, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Birthday. The birthday is a tradition that I'm totally happy to co-opt.
So no celebrations except for those of yourself, is what you're saying?
Well, that's, for a narcissistic person, that's par for the course. And you know what's interesting? For a narcissistic person, it's par for the course. And you know what the name of the course is?
The Andy Kindler Memorial.
Yes, that's it. That's all you had to know.
Kindler National.
You answered the question. Your buzzer would have been, you already got it. So you knew it would be self-referential. Yeah. Didn't matter what the example you used was. But, no. Wait a second. I liked Halloween when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I did like Halloween. And I liked Thanksgiving more than I've come to like it. Well, that's maybe because people die.
Yeah.
But there's something oppressive about Thanksgiving, or it could be that I build everything up every year, and so it can't live up to that.
Right. Well, I think both can be true.
You can take them or leave them with the holidays, right?
Yes. None give me joy on their face.
Not your birthday?
My birthday a little, I guess. But
yeah.
But I mean, that gives me. I notice that more because something about me changed. But in fact, I just got a birthday present today from my friend Barry Golub.
I missed your birthday again?
No, it's coming up in a couple weeks.
I'm not going to know when. You tell me now.
It's coming up in a week, May 21st.
I thought that's your anniversary.
No, that's in July.
Oh God! What day of the week is your birthday?
I don't know. It's May 21st.
I meant the date. It's May 21st. And I say again, for the 15th time, it's not day of the week based. It's based on a number.
Yes.
What day of the week did your birthday come up for this year? I do not know, and I don't care. And if you say one more thing, I'm going to hang up the phone and come over there and kick your ass. Oh, now you've done it, though. Now you have done it.
Why? You've opened up your calendar?
Yeah, and I already have the balloons that are, what I'm saying? It's my favorite part about Facebook, and I assume that's a nice birthday. I think that is a good month. I don't know. That's swinging because what you're telling me is your birthday is on Friday night every year, and I just think that's amazingly great.
No, Andy, you
got a Friday night birthday.
Never mind. Yes,
it's Abbott. And
I was born on Shabbat.
You know what it is? This is Abbott and Abbott because the punchline is incorrect premise, right?
Yes.
or it's very limited premise. Oh, so Friday night, your birthday. Well, I don't know why I said that. Like Costello.
Yeah, you kind of ruined the tiny bit of premise you had going.
I'm beginning to notice that there's no sports.
Yeah? How does it make you feel?
I think it's going to depress me. Like everything will, like if we don't have football by football, I think it will depress me a little bit. But I don't know if by that time I will be dead. I'll tell you what I'm not prepared to do. I'm not prepared to take a chancy trip to a club.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Nor should you.
Right. So I had something scheduled for June. I'm not going. You can't convince me that June is going to be a time where anyone is going to enjoy socially distanced comedy.
No, you want to go into a closed off room and try to aerosolize people's response to you?
Wait, you asking me the way you put it sounds good. Yeah. So now I do have scheduled things in the fall. I have the festivals are coming back in the fall, but I'm not even confident that's going to happen.
No, I wouldn't be confident. I mean, they could. Some version could, but, you know.
Well, we got the right guy in charge.
I just don't, you know, I mean, nothing's better.
Well, because of the guy. This is really, we don't like to talk about politics, but this is because he literally won't do anything to organize it nationally.
Yeah. But, I just mean, even with a good response, nothing would be that much better right now. It's still dangerous out there.
True. And I can definitely say that this is one of those things, the worst part of this disease, in case people were thinking there were bright spots, is the idea that you can give it to somebody when you haven't had any symptoms.
Yeah.
Because I just think if you spend a night, like just with any of your friends, you won't realize what the hell you do. You want to play, like if anybody had at that poker night that we went to.
Right.
I think that's where you get it. You got these dirty men and there's beverages running around the table and people are so wanting to get their dirty joke in, they're not thinking about cleanliness.
And if you're lucky, you're touching a lot of chips.
Chips. Things that I believe is just like me dancing in the streets about not having sold or ever wanting to sell right now a physical object again.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's going to change because I know that our shirts are classics, but you can wash them.
Yes, you can.
I'm going to tell you something. I know that I didn't bring much to the table today, but I don't think you're even at the table.
No, I think I am. I think I'm just trying to recover from
the opening,
the initial tailspin.
Oh, you can't do that. See, that's what I'm
concentrating on pulling back on the stick right now.
I don't know if that means going up or down.
Up.
What does it mean?
Up.
Okay, but would you counsel me if you said to me, "What's wrong, buddy?" and I said to you, "Oh, I'm still thinking about that opening." Is that the kind of behavior?
You know what? We could fucking call this show "What's Wrong, Buddy."
What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong, buddy? Tonight.
Yes.
Because but is it only a one-way street?
I don't know. It goes week to week. It goes week to week.
Yeah, I'm going to start to say that you have as many what is it called, foibles as I do.
Are you? Are you saying it with a straight face?
Did I tell you that I'm the person who passed the FOIA Act?
I'm trying to get how you. Okay, no.
I have nothing. I've got nothing. Don't think too long.
Okay.
I've got nothing. I don't know. I just looked at it. It's not a funny thing, but I was just thinking what a great thing it was.
Is that one of those things you say and then go, "Why aren't you laughing?"
Yes, exactly. Right. It's not as much probably going to happen to you because it happens to Susan all day long.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they call Jif creamy, Susan. Susan, creamy.
Hello,
I'm making jokes.
Is this lid screwed on?
See, and if that didn't get a laugh, I would stomp out of the house. All right, I take it back about the FOIA, but you had said a word. I said FOIA. Here's how I said it.
Oh, it was just noise association.
Yes, worse than First Thought Theater. Worse, because it only has noise. So okay, well I'll say. But the Freedom of Information Act is one of the greatest things this country, and I don't know if other countries has it, and I have no idea when it was. I'm not asking you to look, but I will look up and find out when it came in and how they did it.
Okay.
I want to say the 70s.
Yeah, bring it on back tomorrow night.
Okay. Not homework. Don't call it homework.
No. Research.
That's different. Also, by tomorrow night, I want, like you promised, I want you to have the website up to date where we can, every joke that we do, if you want to hear more about, if you need to know more about the oldest joke in show business, go to our website and you'll get more about it.
Who were Abbott and Abbott?
I just typed "bring it back tomorrow night." I think
you might need another one of those.
Yeah. That was a forced laugh. That was the only forced laugh so far, my friend. My friend.
That's good.
Why am I doing it? Why am I into the my friend? Okay, buddy boy. Okay, pal of mine. Pal of mine is good.
Yes.
Megan Keister says pal of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed that she does, because a pal of mine only relates to Jackie Gleason, right?
I guess. I can't say definitively, but put that on your list too for tomorrow.
Here's the thing I just realized about Josh Elvis Weinstein.
What's that?
Is that it's not like you're disinterested in it, but you're not overly interested in the derivation of pal o' mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I kind of want you to go, well, you know what? I kind of want you to go, of course it's Gleason. Of course it's Gleason.
Dude, that's a good trivia fact.
No. Oh, man. This is I wrote pal of mine down for some reason.
That's good. We heard.
Is that it for us, or we got to have something? This is too short a Monday.
I'm not calling the game.
All right, okay. So I keep thinking you've got some things in your pocket that you're about to. This is the second worst part of me. I think maybe all the parts of me that are bad.
Well, I started my day very well today. It's not.
What happened?
It's not ending that well, but I started it by writing for 3 hours, which is what I said I was going to do when I got up. It was really an amazing thing. And after writing for 3 hours, I hated myself 30% less throughout the day.
That is amazing. Now, did you write on one topic, or did you write a lot of ideas, or what'd you do?
I did some of each. I started spraying ideas, and then I decided to write on one of them. And I did for about 2.5 hours.
I mean, that is, don't you think that's going 0 to 1,000,000?
Well, I kind of realized that I have to actually learn how to be a writer again at this point. I have to retrain myself to be a writer.
I see. And what's the difference between someone like me, a dabbler, and a writer? Because I think you're onto something here. Well,
I just don't have any, I've lost any sort of structure or work habits, especially over the last few months. So I find now, just on my mindset, it's like this morning, it's like usually we wake up and turn on the NPR, and we either fall back asleep to it or you just listen to the news and shit. And that puts you in a mindset, so. Right. This morning, as soon as I realized I was listening to the radio, I got up and started writing and didn't turn on the TV and didn't tune into anything until I wrote,
Well, that's,
I think that's kind of the only way I can do it right now, because there's just too much other shit that floats into my consciousness that makes it.
The thing is that sometimes, though, having silence, it just makes me so jittery and jumpy. And I know that if I could get past the first few seconds of it, maybe I would. That's
the thing, is it does to me, too. It makes me totally antsy. But it also, there's an element of, okay, but you're still a fucking grown-up, right?
Right, that's true.
So.
Well, here's the problem. If you put music on, music is great if you don't have something specific you want to do. Because if you're just kind of listening to music and doing like work that's not important, work doesn't require a lot of thinking. But if you don't listen to the music as music and just have it as background.
Yeah, but the truth is now I just can't. My ADD is such that I just need to have my own words there. I can't have lyrics. I can't have news in the background.
Yeah,
I can write jokes all day long like that. But to write, 2 pages of prose, which is what I did today, you have to be in a focused place.
Is this prose that could go into a screenplay or a TV show, or is it like a book thing, or it doesn't matter at this point?
It's none of the above right now. It's just, hey, I'm going to write on this. See what comes out.
Okay, because my thing is, if I do something sometimes where I keep it too unstructured, then it's just going to be, if I go, hey, I'll just write stream of consciousness for this, then I do indeed write stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And then you got to have someone come back in.
I write coherently, but unjudgmentally in this case.
Yeah.
Because that's my worst thing as a writer is that I tend to write the first 5 drafts in my head before I'll put pen to paper, And
that's your worst thing? How do you mean?
Well, because it's a frustrating and slow way to work.
Where you're constantly editing.
I don't have the natural ability to just put down stuff I don't do placekeepers well.
Right. Yeah.
And some of that's laziness too, some of it's just like, I don't want to do a second draft, so I'm just going to make the first draft good,
I like the energy on that. Yeah. That's actually a trigger word for me, laziness, because I can't get anything because of the extremes and the black and white. All those words are so charged for me that I'm actually prevented from really knowing what's going on with me sometimes, because I'll just say, I'm just bored. I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
I'm just bored. Now, you could say that because you feel like that's an actual character trait, maybe, that doesn't get into your schmadoink-da-doink, get into your soul.
No, it's a start and end point. It's not you're lazy and horrible and immoral and, it's just,
Yeah, so
it's the one criticism, I can level that criticism on myself, and it's not, I don't use it lightly. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a real, if I call myself that to myself, it's because I'm pretty pissed.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, stop typing.
Yes.
Seriously.
How can you tell?
You're talking on your computer and typing on your computer.
I'm not. How do you know? I was going to say, you know what your problem is? What did that mean? You know what your problem is? Fuck. I was doing the wrong thing and it didn't help me. I had something to say in reaction to what you were saying. Here's the thing. Laziness, in a certain way, you are saying that you're pissed at yourself. But you are saying you're pissed at yourself. But you being pissed at yourself is not a negative thing. And I hope to have that same thing happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's I believe it's warranted sometimes.
Right. So
it's not a place to live.
Right. But, okay, so I guess what I'm saying is I've learned now that everything that I've called boring, that's just an excuse. Not an excuse. It's just a cover up because I'm on any levels, or sometimes I don't want to really look at what's going on. So I go, of course I don't want to answer an email. Emails are boring. Everything is boring to me. But now I realize that when you're not motivated by this weird thing, then you can actually integrate things into your life in a less unpleasant way. Like me listening to podcasts when I would go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I found out, but the other side of it is, if I decided I was lazy, which is what I did with music, you're lazy, you're just lazy. You don't want to play the guitar. I mean, you don't want to play the violin for 9 hours. You're lazy. You'll never be the greatest musician at something because you're lazy. That was a misapprehension of the fact that I hated the fucking violin.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, anytime you have resistance to something, you have to examine it because it usually is fear, or something related,
Right.
But, when I say you're lazy, it's not you're lazy because you didn't do the task so much as you're lazy because you didn't confront the resistance.
And that's exactly so funny to me. It's like I get so defensive about words where it's like it's the word makes sense. That's the first time that word ever made sense to me as a criticism. Like as a criticism of yours. Like now it makes sense to me. It's like
lazy to me is defined by my own standards. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
It's not my dad calling me lazy when I call me lazy.
Right. It's not your dad?
It's not.
Right.
It's not anyone but me. It's not some authority figure that I'm, it really is just my own internal self-disciplining,
Yeah, it's so amazing. I mean, it's so amazing to learn these things because these are things I never ever would have thought about before. But I'm wondering because I want to check I can only check with my brother now. But I'm wondering is that what we were all exposed to? Because my brother, he doesn't feel he's not lazy. He's always moving 100 hours a day, but he felt like a fraud, is what he told me.
Yeah.
So it's like we all felt, and my sister felt she was no good at anything. You know what I mean? Like and she had like one of the greatest voices I've ever heard. So there was all something that wasn't all the same thing, but there was something in our parents' language. It's like when someone says to you a million times, "You aggravate the life out of me." When you're a kid, you start to think you're aggravating. So it really is like fascinating to me to be able to separate all. I mean, to me, like at my age, to realize. I mean, I just realized this a couple of days ago with the violin, where I really clearly was able to identify you don't even like watching other people play the violin.
Right.
It's a horrible instrument. It's the exact opposite of what, for me, and it doesn't really matter that I could come up with a scenario where it would have been fun. Because I've heard Yitzhak Perlman talk, and he's like, it's a fucking horrible instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying, and he loves it, but he's saying, even the greatest of them don't want to play it a lot.
Right.
So anyway, I made my point. I'm over talking, and I apologize because apologizing is my new second thing I do with everything now.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
don't equate quitting with failure either.
Well, that's quitting is what could make me be successful. Because if I was thinking, I mean, there was a time period in my life for years and years and years where I go, I should be writing a screenplay. And there's no question, no argument in my mind. So when you quit something, you realize you're quitting it for a reason.
Right.
You know? So,
whereas I should be writing a screenplay.
Right. Because you want to.
Well, because it's the thing, writing is the thing that I get paid for.
Right.
I do a lot of other shit, but I don't seem to get paid for it, you know? So it's time to go back to writing, you know, and reconnect with wanting to write.
Well, because it also feeds the other stuff too, because, you know,
if I want to direct a film, I got to write it at this point.
Right. That's what I was going right for. That type of thing was like, you like documentaries and you are a writer in terms of like, that's one of the things you do. So
yeah. And my joke writing skill, I don't have insecurity about.
Right. Exactly.
But
you don't need to go to a workshop for it.
But the man alone in room with laptop and hundreds of pages to go before you sleep is not it's not what I'm wired for. So I have to do some rewiring again right now. And
are you going to be trying to do this every day?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. What should I do that would be a similar? I don't need to do anything that's similar.
You don't need to do anything that's similar, no.
You know, I've been walking around the house. I swear to God, Josh, when you think about when you've made something to be an obstacle and then the obstacle is no longer there, it's like, I don't have to worry about getting the album out anymore.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
It's so good.
I feel like I seriously feel like I'm in gravity when you're in space sometimes.
Hey, I've got the Debar movie, which is the same vintage coming out, and I have, you know, since I wrapped it, I've, you know, felt most of that, and I'm waiting for the release.
Well, I owe you a lot of thanks though, because you did the exact right amount of needling.
Good.
You know. So. The only thing next is taxes. That's my next thing.
Which year?
The fact that we how to make a living and stuff.
Yeah, there's that whole thing.
Oh, I am doing the taxes for 2018 now.
Okay, that's good. That's, you know.
And in 2019, I'm going to get a lot of money back.
At least it's modern day.
Yeah, I'm able to use all the new templates.
Yes.
Well, I am now going to say that I think this was a healthy day.
I think we actually formed a conversation there.
So let me describe it from my image of how you, and don't hang up yet. Okay. Do it later. But what you're saying, and don't do it now. Here's the way image of it. I opened up. I almost ruined the show. That's my image of how you think about it.
No.
He almost ruined the show with his stupid.
No.
Okay.
No.
So why don't you give the report of what happened?
Sum
it up.
I think we had a little trouble connecting at the beginning. That's a two-way street connecting.
Ooh, you're like the world's greatest hostage negotiator.
And I think once we both settled in to the task at hand, which is creating something coherent.
Yes.
I think we rallied. I really think we rallied.
And the thing, and beyond that, there were no.
And four. And darling, I love the seats with corduroy.
Wait, and markers?
Wait a second, don't do that. They let him do it from there. I can't do the goddamn fucking commercial. I have a claustrophobia. I don't work like this. Why didn't you put it on my head?
Hey.
I don't wish to work like this.
Huh? Hello. Funny stuff.
Good.
Good evening, Josh. Good evening, Josh.
How are you, Candy Indler?
I have a friend who's Susan's cousins, and their daughter does a great. What's her name? Used to be. Good evening. No, she used to be like married to Michael Huffington, Ariana Huffington.
How did Alfred Hitchcock get you to Ariana Huffington?
No. I'm going to do it better now.
Same initials.
But here's the thing. It's going to be Ariana Huffington on Keith Olbermann's show. Okay, so here's how it sounds. Good evening, Keith. I don't do it as good as her, but could you imagine how good it is when it's done right?
That's Andy Kindler's impression of his niece's impression of Ariana Huffington on Keith Olbermann's show.
Actually, the flower girl at our wedding. Do you remember the flower girl?
Oh, of course I do. How could I forget?
She is now a grown human being.
I would hope so.
Good evening, Keith. Sounds almost like what's those Dracula? Good evening.
A little bit. I was on Keith Olbermann's show.
You were on Keith Olbermann's show because you were involved with Cinematic Titanic, am I right?
That's correct.
And I only know that because I think I heard it from Frank or I heard it from you or one of the two.
Probably me, considering you've talked to me for hundreds of hours.
I don't remember talking to you, but if you say that I did talk to you for hundreds of hours, I'm the last person who would say that I didn't talk to you for hundreds of hours. How do you like my new sing-song?
Speaking of you being the last person to talk, there are listeners actually ratting you out for not plugging our show on big podcasts.
The last one I did, I really plugged us.
Okay,
that was a big one.
Well, that's good.
Who was that one?
I don't know.
Who are they? What are they saying?
They said Marin, no, for sure, no.
Oh, okay, that's good.
That would have helped. That would have helped. Eddie Pepitone, you couldn't get to it no matter what.
Eddie Pepitone, right? Yeah. But there's another one I just did that was like
there was another one someone else ratted you out about, but that's okay. I just sense it. I don't know. It's segued there. It's segued there by mom.
Let me go on record to say that the only defense I'll have is that I really wanted to promote the album.
Well, they're saying you're not doing that much either.
Well. I think I got to get better at promoting things. I'm not good at it, and also I'm self involved. But I am going to try.
It's a weird inconsistency because usually self-absorbed people are very good at promoting themselves.
Yeah, that's me. You're not me.
I know. I'm not.
Self-absorbed people are not good at promoting at seeing anything beyond their face. So I don't remember I have a podcast when I'm being interviewed. I'm like, yeah, they're talking to me now.
Okay, I get it. I understand. Okay.
Yeah. Andy Kindler. Like that.
Fair enough.
No, it's not fair enough. I don't want to be that guy. But on the other hand, I I think there's in general the fact that I don't promote it more is not because I don't want more people to listen to it. It's just because I need to get, still you'd think after all these years in show business, I'd be able to direct people to what, because that's the thing that I think consistently.
Well, as your partner, I will say that's the thing you can really bring to the table.
How do you mean?
I mean, you have access to more promotional opportunities.
Right. And I think it's always been a weakness of mine, but of doing it properly. But
well, here's a spin. Do it for me.
Okay. I am doing it. That would be why I would do it. But I want to be able to do it for you without resentment.
Well,
right?
I want that too.
Okay. Let me put that down. So how's that sound? I forgot. Tom Snyder. I have a podcast. You know what I just realized?
You can go in. My podcast we just hit our 3rd year anniversary of our podcast. All right.
My podcast just hit okay. I just realized there is one reason why I do it. And there's no excuse. Let's come up with reasons. And then how about reasons? No excuses.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed about having a podcast sometimes or saying that I have a podcast because everybody has a podcast.
Okay. But you're also playing the other end of the spectrum of like, why aren't we growing?
What are we? No. I would like to. In fact, I was going to propose to you, and I thought maybe I propose it to you like we don't eat it together anymore. But I think that we should do. I had this idea over the weekend. It was selfish at the time, but like I want to edit down my mother's things she said about Quakers. Short little speed things that she told me, and I would love to put that. Where we used to put like songs and stuff. And so I thought that would be a good idea if we brought more things to the podcast. And then I would be also realize, in other words, if I thought of the podcast as the home base of things, then we could bring things into the podcast. But also that would be a way people would listen to it because it would be in a podcast they like. So they'd listen to, I'm not saying I'm going to go so far out that I would do dramatic reading.
No, you've got a fairly captive audience, is what you're saying.
I have a fairly captive audience. I have an audience that already knows my mom. So it's like, anyway, we don't have to do that though. But that was just one idea I had.
No, anything you want to bring is pretty much in.
Right.
So, I'm not going to argue with you unless there's like the N-word in it or something.
Right. Yeah. But the thing is that the other thing I thought we could do is like interview, like do a short Zoom with Dave Foley or something like that and stick that in. We can't do a Zoom. Forget that. I went too far out because we don't have visuals. We could do an audio Zoom, an audio fucking Zoom. We don't have to have visuals. I don't want visuals. Nobody we know, most of the people we know are not hot actresses.
Yeah. We could. I don't think that our people are here for the interviews. I think our ratings have shown that. No,
I don't want interviews. I don't want interviews like that.
That only Jen Kirkman really brings the boys to the yard.
No, I'm just thinking I would like to offer the opportunity to Dave to make it up for us screwing it up. So that would be just a one-time thing. No, I'm not all.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, talk to me.
You're thinking,
he doesn't care.
You're thinking of this wrong.
Okay.
You're thinking of it like we owe him one. I mean, we do owe him one, but it's not in the form of him coming on our show again.
Oh, I see. So we should take him out to a socially distanced dinner?
That would probably be better once it's safe or something. I'm just saying you don't have one in the I owe Dave Foley column aside from the fact that he came over and did our thing. I don't think he gives one iota of a shit that it didn't air.
Well, also that doesn't add anything to the
I could be wrong.
Show.
I could be wrong.
Well,
that's just my vibe.
I know, but you have a tendency to have a good sense of people and what
I don't think he resented doing it at all. I think he enjoyed it. I think we had a good talk and had fun. But I don't think when he heard what I fucked up, he went, those motherfuckers.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's a pipe dream for me to think that I'm going to talk to you outside of the show for these ideas. So I'm very happy to be able to bring them up.
Sure. You know, you can always tell me to take something out if you don't feel comfortable having it on the.
I feel this has been one of my better performances. I was listening, excited because it was my idea.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Now, the thing about I'm very much like into doing things like bringing things to the table like that, and then also I want into. And now, if the thing with my mom is too long, I can also put it out separately. But that would be a tease for it too if it was just like, okay, that's too ponderous for our podcast.
Well, I could help you edit it too if I had some thoughts on how to make it more punchy.
It's going to be tough because she was not that far from death. I didn't mean it like that, but it just something delights me about talking about death and about daring. I'm edgy. I'm edgy with death.
Well, no one is more comfortable with death talk than me. So if you're trying to make me feel taboo touching, then
no, not taboo. Just that I know that it's a comfortable. The water is warm in this pool. Get in.
Yeah.
You know why the water is warm? Because my uncle Nate died by jacuzzi.
I was the old man sitting in the death pool before you even showed up.
Wait a second. You don't have death pools, do you, with your friends?
No, I mean the death jacuzzi is what I meant.
I would like to say right now that I don't ever want to be. I mean, not just because it's you, but with anybody. I don't think I can ever pull the jacuzzi trigger again.
No?
I don't know. When was the last time you were in a jacuzzi?
Well, I have one in my yard.
Well, when was that? Okay, I'll ask it again. When was the last time you were in your jacuzzi?
Okay, it's been a while, but nonetheless, I don't.
When was the last time Allison was in there alone?
More recently than I was.
But not even that's not recent. So what is it with the jacuzzis? Is it that the thrill is gone? It's like an overground pool?
No, it's just that it takes an hour or two to warm up. And so from the moment you go, I want to take a jacuzzi to the moment the jacuzzi's ready.
An hour.
You go, oh, I don't really want to take a jacuzzi anymore.
And plus it's expensive, right? Don't you have to mix the thing with the thing? And
no, it's not expensive, really.
It's not expensive. It's nothing like a pool. I mean, to keep up like a pool, right?
No, you're heating it for 2 hours, you know.
All right, let's do it.
You're welcome, but you're afraid of it, so.
I'm afraid of it, but I would love to have a podcast from the jacuzzi. Well, that would really be.
We haven't used it since well before the pandemic, so if you want to come over and use it first.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'll be using it. But I like the idea. I just realized what's wrong with a lot of ideas of we'll take our podcast to O'Reilly's bar or Fitzy's Irish Pub, or we'll take it to a bowling alley. There's no way that the people, anything that you're enjoying about doing it at this other location can be conveyed to people at home.
No, especially when you change.
What do you mean? Into my bowling shoes?
No, as a person, because we're in public.
Yeah. Way less entertaining. Way less entertaining. I mean, you could tape me at a bowling alley or someplace and then edit it down for a nice 2-minute obnoxious guy at the bowling alley. I feel so thrown under the bus when I get on stage with you that I could be in the Trump administration. But
by the way, I have to say, since we're halfway through this evening, I'm a little drunk right now.
Are you really?
I am. Not hammered, but I got a sake buzz. I ordered sushi and I drank a bunch of sake with it.
What do you mean you got some sushi? Did you get sushi from the place I love?
I don't know. Which place do you love?
I love the sparkle fish. That's not the name. Sparkle fish?
Sugarfish.
Sugarfish, yeah. Was that it?
No, because I don't think that they do well delivering because they use the warm rice, which warms up the cold fish in delivery.
Oh, but the warm rice, I see. The warm rice is so perfect when you're there.
When you're there,
warm rice.
It's nail on the head. But when it warms up the sushi in transit,
that's not what you want.
No,
that is not what you want.
I went to Sushi Note, or no, it might even be Sushi Note, but I think it's Sushi Note. But
what's your opinion?
It was very good.
How are we going to get over the fact that we don't want to touch things?
Well, I'm kind of laying down the gauntlet on you, honestly.
Well, the thing is, I think the people who make the sushi use their hands.
Yeah, with gloves, I would imagine.
But nobody is getting it that way, right? No one's getting it that way.
That's kind of how I feel, yeah. You would have heard, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but you know how the news is slow these days? I mean, that kind of news is slow. 2 weeks later, we know how many people died. 2 weeks later, I just know that I haven't done anything where I've been in any kind of crowd situation. Like when you see these people actually they say outdoors is pretty safe. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe you're on a beach blanket and someone is slobbering over you.
Well, we just found out here in L.A. that we're going to be here for another 3 months, pretty much, for sure.
Oh, we're not opening?
We're not. It's till August now.
Oh, so no. What was supposed to open?
Well, I imagine they'll still trickle some things into the mix over that time.
I keep thinking of more stupider things to open than hair salons and stuff. Well, I think it was like a joke. Was that a joke? Georgia was playing a joke on us? We'll go with the things where you literally touch another person during the procedure. Let's go with those first. I think it was experimental, right?
Can I open my apple bobbin shop?
So here's what I have so far. Bikram yoga would be the first thing I'd open up.
All right, sure.
And give me some more sweaty. Would it be indoor water parks? Get to the indoor water park.
Steam rooms.
Steam rooms, no good. And I told you those hug booths. Those hug booths are out of business now.
Teppanyaki houses.
Where is it where you gather all around? Is that like a?
That's teppanyaki, like Benihana.
Yeah, so that is so good, and maybe maybe those, when like the old comics would go see a boxing match indoors.
Sure,
the Friars.
Square dance.
Hey, you know what would be? It's not going to go. I used to go to this every Monday night, pyramid people night.
Yeah,
where we'd make human pyramid. It's
human
so much funny,
yeah.
So much fun. Human pyramid, and then Twister. We would end with Twister.
I would sometimes go down to the face slap studio.
Bowling, I was thinking, does not sound as bad to me because it has you can blow with the machine, or I don't know why I was thinking that.
You can blow with the machine? I'm sorry.
And they got a machine where the air comes out.
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid. You don't want air coming out to get your sweaty hands.
So that can blow the virus off your hands into your face, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Even with your own ball, it's no good because you're going down some sweaty chute or something.
No, I think people keep off. I think once it hits the lane, it's safe.
And then nothing else. There's nothing else about bowling that's fun. If you even think bowling's fun, there's nothing about it that's fun. It's all about being huddled around one table or being huddled in a small snack area.
Yeah,
it's nothing but a breeding ground. I can't believe it.
Maybe foosball.
Well, because you're right next to it. Foosball. Here's $1 million idea: a socially distanced foosball game.
There you go. whatever joke you're doing, foosball should be in there.
Foosball.
Yes. I'm telling you right now, if you leave foosball on the workbench, you're making a mistake.
Pinning anything on anything? Pinning the towel? Penning the dung, All right, I think we have enough, and this will all be in our bonus album that you get at Christmas.
Yes.
We never have any bonus albums. I don't think people want more of the thing that they have as a bonus.
No, I don't think we'll leave that. We don't really stick to the showbiz adage, leave them wanting more. Very much.
No. And also, we don't really. I know you don't leave anything on the floor or on the table.
I leave more on the floor than I do on the table.
Right,
not just because I'm a messy eater.
But it's not like you go, God damn it! It breaks my heart to have this only go out at 2 hours. It breaks my heart. Maybe we'll make We'll make pods. And I don't know if I ever mentioned that I was on the Letterman show. Name drop. But they used to always do sketches. The things I would do in the field, they would cut them down because that was the one thing was that David Letterman, he cut everything like way down. Every piece was way down. And then there was always a dream that we would put it online, the rest of the footage.
Ah, right.
We never did that.
No. It's probably a good thing. It probably helped your legacy.
You think I have a legacy?
Oh, sure.
Like, is that someone who is legacy mean like I died, or does it mean like I'm grandfathered in?
Well, if you were joining a fraternity, then it would mean that.
I can't see either one of me or you at a fraternity.
But
I just can't see
I'm
it.
talking about you joining a pantheon
Of greats?
Of comics.
Is a pantheon a physical building?
Oh, Andy, don't hurt me.
Do you hear that plane?
No, I will soon.
But isn't that
Now I do, yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel more intimately close to me? Like we really are sharing a similar life? Look at that. Is that plane outside, or is it in both of our... The Chinese would say that plane overhead unites us in some kind of a thing that I don't really understand.
I kind of thought the conversation we were having was doing that, but whatever. The plane's nice, too.
It's unbelievable. You should go into some kind of business where you show people how to be consistently hostile in the most pleasant way. And no one even knows it's hostility with you.
Well,
they're just making friendly conversation.
My father was a lawyer, so.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I wanted to be a lawyer. Okay,
They're very good at hostile pleasantries.
Well, the worst is in the. Do you ever believe when they say my friends on the other side? Or they say my Democratic friends or
my friends on the other side of the aisle?
That never works.
No.
All due respect is a phony thing. You can tell I'm not saying I'm fading, but I'm certainly going into
you're going into sort of mid-'80s sort of stuff.
We were right in the middle of a very dramatic conversation when it was about bringing things to the show. I think we've talked about it enough. Yeah. But I'll bring it up at the meeting later on this week.
Okay, excellent.
Didn't it used to crack you up when Letterman would say I should be here for rehearsal? I mean, I know they had a rehearsal, but I know he didn't go to a lot of the rehearsal.
He taught us a lot about being meta.
He might have, yes, I would say that he's the main guy in my life. But would you say that most of the people that you think are funny have that kind of side to them? Self-deprecating, meta? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
But certainly Dick Cavett had that.
Sure.
Woody Allen has that. And I'll tell you, so I don't know if this is an unpopular position.
How about other people from 1968?
I don't know if this is an unpopular position, but I am 100% behind Woody Allen. Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon? Yeah.
No, don't lean on it. Don't even pretend like soon is what you're hitting.
Okay. What's the matter? Too soon? Yeah?
A little split the difference.
A little better.
Split the difference.
I'm so excited about the punchline. Give it to me. I'm better when you say it and then I'll repeat it.
All right. I know it's not a popular position, but I am 100% behind Woody Allen. What? Too soon ye?
That's it. What? Too soon ye? Just you're underplaying the ye part.
Yes, exactly. Say it like it's her name. That's a good mnemonic device.
Too soon ye?
Yes.
Well, it's not this though. Too soon ye?
No, you were doing it good.
Why is it that you would think I would have impeccable timing? Wouldn't you?
You really would. You really would. You've been in big places.
I think it's when you start to think about it that it ruins whatever kind of. That's why acting can be hard. Yeah. Not that I don't knock it out of the park. It can be hard.
You went without imposter syndrome this long. Why start now?
What is imposter syndrome?
When you believe.
We talked about it?
I don't know. I'm faking my imposter syndrome.
Is it when you call yourself a Rockefeller?
I'm faking my imposter syndrome.
I know. I heard the joke. That was so. What was the joke? What was what I thought was funny that I said while I heard your joke? You'll have to find out later,
Something
right?
about Rockefeller Center.
No. I was saying, I was focused like a dog with a bone on that. An imposter is someone who claims to be, his last name's Rockefeller or his last name. Yeah. They had a guy like that.
No, imposter syndrome is when you believe that you're putting one over on everybody in the position that you're in.
Okay, now I'm ready to hear your joke.
I already did it on another show. I closed with it, I think, on another show.
You can't do that. This is your first. You can't be doing that. Oh, if I find out more of this is happening, boy, am I going to be steamed, Josh. This show is for... The stuff you say on this show should just be for this show. I don't know who this is, but this is the producer.
Yeah, like I said.
Me as a producer.
Like I said it on this show before.
Oh, on this show?
Yeah.
You closed enough. I thought it was your other show.
No, I closed this show.
Someone punch... Here's what I hope.
Yeah.
I would like someone...
I promise I can punch you.
No, I mean kill me this time.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
In the middle of the night. I'm serious.
Not with the album out.
Susan would be mad at you. I mean, she'd have mixed feelings.
It would actually probably help the sales, but...
I love that idea of posthumous sales.
Yeah, get one ready for your...
I don't want to die, Josh. Stop talking this way. I do not want to die, and every time I think of like... Well, you're not going to die. When I was 20, right?
Yeah.
And if you had told me 63, I would have punched you in the face.
That you were going to live that long?
Yeah.
What sort of narcissistic age did you think you were going to die at?
I don't know. I think I kept going for the I'm a man in his 80s.
Oh, okay.
Shtick.
You weren't one of those I'm going to die young people?
Yeah. I want to do something. I want to do something where, here's the thing. I'm 63, so I'm telling people in my life that I'm not scared of dying. So we know that's a lie.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not as scared of dying as I used to be. Because
I think that's the natural course of things.
But or it could be delusional. I just don't want to be
it could just be you're bored.
That's true. I just don't want to be, I don't want to go out like I think I'm going to go out. God damn it. Do fucking something to keep it going, you assholes. Well, I hate this hospital. I hate you, Josh. I hate you. You killed me. You killed me. Think about that on your way out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be visiting you if that was the attitude you were sporting.
No, but this is the last time as I am dying. This is where I've tried to be nice to this point. But then they go, and you come and you go, buddy, I know, just let it, just surrender to it. Fuck you, surrender to it. You fucking surrender to it.
We'll all be okay.
No, you're going to be, this is what's going to be. I hope you're ready for this, unless you do something a couple of years before to estrange us. You're going to be at my goddamn bedside. And you're going to be, you may even be, again.
Well, you don't think it's possible for you to estrange me? Is that what you're saying? Before?
No. Oh, no. But here's the thing. You're going to play the same role that you played when you directed the DVD. You're going to be like the traffic cop in the hospital on the last day. Because I want you to keep a party atmosphere.
Okay, all right.
Now, that cheered me up briefly to think of that.
I was reading Jack Benny's daughter's book a while back, and she was talking about when he was on his deathbed at home in Beverly Hills, the house became this party, this Hollywood party for like 3 days waiting for him to die.
That's amazing. Did she remember, did it help her?
I don't think it did. No, I think it was probably, for a kid, it was probably horrifying. But I thought that would make a really good play, The Death of Jack Benny.
What I'm thinking. Are you ready to? Are you going to die? When are you going to die? I'm thinking. Now, this book, was it a good book?
It was okay. I mean, it was Jack Benny's memoir that he hadn't finished. So,
I see.
So it alternated between he and his daughter talking. So there was enough Jack Benny. I mean, the best stuff was Jack Benny talking.
Right. And he was supposed to be a truly nice person.
Yeah, by all accounts, and certainly from what you see in the book, he was a hugely gracious and I mean, you can tell just by what a great laugher he was, you know.
That's true.
Whenever you see clips of him, it's always him laughing at someone funny, you know. Right there, you know, there's something good about him as a big star comedian.
And I think you could say the same thing about Johnny Carson. That was one of his things that made him a good host, was that he really did he liked it when people were good, as opposed to Leno, who didn't.
Yeah, who immediately tried to get on top of them.
I'll never understand that the day, as long as I live, that someone who does not like things, doesn't know subjects, doesn't read books, doesn't have, isn't a curious person, how that person can end up being a talk show host.
Well, Andy, I'm a company man.
Yeah, but your stand-up is fine.
My stand-up was hilarious.
But when
my stand-up was so good, I've never spent a penny of my Tonight Show money.
Yeah, but you see, when you tell people that, it just makes them hate you more.
I understand, but I don't care.
But what's the point of telling people that you haven't spent your Tonight Show money? People are starving.
I understand. I don't care.
This is a dismissive. It's a dismissive Jay Leno. I don't care.
You tell the jokes, you get the check, you go home.
Now, okay, let me ask you this, Jay. I've watched your show, The Garage Show. That you do. Yeah. You don't even look that interested in that show in the cars.
I'm not that interested.
Well, then what's the point of
it's a write-off for the fucking cars. What do you think it is?
But you must have some... Do they bring you joy?
The cars bring me joy. It's humans that don't.
I think we've got it right. Oh, that Jay Leno. The Tonight Cypher Show.
Yes.
All right, I'm starting to let it go. My whole thing is you got to let go of these grudges. Starting to let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
I have no anger. I really don't have anger towards him. It's more like I go to the same references out of habit.
Yeah, well, once you start talking about Jay Leno on the Tonight Show, you start going, wow, that was bad.
I like the idea that the Tonight Show was an institution.
It was an institution.
I know, but it wasn't an institution for me once Johnny left, and it wasn't Dave.
No, of course not.
I can't tell if you see, I never can tell. Are you doing the Andy's a moron bit, and I'm leading him down a garden road? I can't tell if you're doing that, or I just don't know if you're going to flip, or you know what? Maybe it's me I don't trust. Down deep.
I think it's you, because you're saying things that I can't really disagree with. It's not stuff. It's not the way I would say stuff, but I can't disagree with the sentiment. So I'm just enthusiastically agreeing.
It's not the way I would say stuff. There's a certain if I didn't know you better, I could see there's a certain dismissiveness.
How could you call me?
I hear rumors flying around. I got sick in the hospital. Well, I was, in this day and time, you can't even get sick. You are strung out. Oh, by God, I'll tell you something, friend. I have never been strung out in my life, except on music. When I got sick in the hotel, I got sicker that one night. I had 102 temperature. They wouldn't let me perform. From 3 different sources, I heard I was strung out on heroin. I swear to God, hotel employees, Jack, bellboys, freaks who carry your luggage up to the room, people working around, talking, maids. And I was sick. I was getting, had a doctor, had the flu, and I met over one day. But all across this town, was strung out. So I told him earlier, and don't you get offended, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to somebody else. If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I'm going to break your goddamn neck, you son of a bitch. That is dangerous. That is damaging to myself, to my little daughter, to my father, to my friends, my doctor, to everybody, my relationship with you, my relationship with them on the stage. It is dangerous. I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much. Anyway.
Hello?
The button's so nice you pushed it twice.
Hold on a second. No, I'm on the laptop, honey. Okay, thanks. She saw my phone going and she thought I probably needed it. Yeah. Oh my God, you okay?
I am. I just spilled a bottle of beer.
Oh no! Do you want to call me back?
No, I'm dealing with it.
Wow.
It wasn't bad.
So now I know you have to drink to get through this every night.
It's just something new.
Oh, the drinking?
Yeah.
It's something. Are you saying that you've added a vice?
I'm working on it. I haven't actually added it. I'm previewing a vice.
Now I think of you being like very much like me now, where you're claiming you're handling it, but you're not really handling it very well. There's more liquid than you thought, maybe.
No, this is literally the beer I just spilled is the first drink of the day.
Oh, well, you have to get another drink then.
No, it's okay. I didn't spill the whole thing.
Hey, first beer of the day. So how many? Where are we going to draw the line? I don't know what my problem is. I don't want to hector you about alcoholism.
When my performance starts to suffer, that's when we need to have the intervention.
Well, thank you for the amazing soup. I mean, I can't even believe it.
Was it good?
It's like, yeah. Well, I haven't finished it, but it's good.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't think you downed a gallon of soup. I just.
But it just was like, what a nice thing to do. The yawning is not me. It's not me thanking you for it, or you know what they say. There's cultures where yawning is considered a compliment or something.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, burping.
You think
burping is.
Oh, okay. Well, yawning is never good.
No,
but I don't know why I yawned then, but it just makes my day.
It happens.
These things happen. I am exhausted. Well, I know why I'm yawning. I'm exhausted all the time, and I'm not sleeping very well.
No, it still hasn't regulated.
I'm not sure it's going to have. I'm not sure if this is the new normal, as they say, as the kids say. Maybe this is the time of. Maybe when you get to be a certain age, you only have to sleep 45 minutes. No, I'm assuming I'll get better at sleeping if I get the right pharmacist on the phone.
Right. Is there I mean, I think the whole world is having trouble sleeping right now, but you know, yours sounds more extreme.
Mine sounds like it's grief/quarantine based.
Yeah.
But I don't quite understand. I've been using pot, but sometimes the pot works. I mean, there's a pot liquid that just is meant to make you sleep.
Yeah.
And that works a little bit good. But I'm going to speak to my psychiatrist tomorrow. So.
Would you please try some Tylenol PM?
Oh, that's right. You told me that already. I didn't believe that could be true.
Yeah, just try it.
It just sounds like something. It sounds like something.
It's way more powerful than pot.
No. I'm talking about sleepy pot. It's not pot. I'm taking pot.
I understand. It's way more powerful than THC.
What is it? What is this crazy thing? It can't be Tylenol. Oh, you're saying there's something in the PM that knocks you out?
Yeah, it's Tylenol with sleeping medication.
They can't. They don't even make that. I would have had a gallon. I'll take a gallon of that to go.
Have you heard of Nitol?
Yeah, but I thought those were all bogus. No?
No, they're not.
Well, what's in it that makes you sleep? Can I just get that?
Poppies.
All right, I'll try it.
Poppies.
It's what?
It's poppies.
You shouldn't give this information out. Now there's going to be a run on it. Well, which one's better, Nitol or Tylenol PM?
I like Tylenol PM. I don't use any of them, but I like Tylenol PM.
You don't use any of them. You do, though, because you've used it, but you don't need it. That's not one of your problems.
Years ago, I did, and it'll knock you down. Especially a wee little fellow like yourself.
All right. I think I hope you're not getting a kick.
I don't know that it's necessarily better for you than like Ambien or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. I've had Ambien before, and so I'm worried to get it. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about maybe asking.
All of them are really easy to get hooked on.
That's the problem. Yeah.
But, clearly I could probably, with a 10-question session with you, probably find like things in your lifestyle that could probably help you sleep.
You're talking about are we going to the coffee or the Adderall?
Well, both. Just the combined use of them throughout the day.
Well, I stopped before. Maybe I need to stop even earlier. I don't know.
I know if I take an Adderall after like 6, I'm wired in bed at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that I think that should be a no-brainer.
And I'm a giant man with a lot of drug resistance.
Yeah. You're making some very good, solid points.
It's kind of one of those, work with me here. I meet me halfway, buy a ticket.
Yeah, buy a ticket. Or pay the $2. It may be even more appropriate to say pay the $2.
And I'm not saying that these shifts in behavior will be easy to make, but the discomfort of doing them might be less than the discomfort of not sleeping at all.
Well,
but apparently my advice is very boring.
Your advice is but it used to be that I drank too much coffee, but that doesn't happen anymore because the Adderall.
Right. But also Cokes and sugar. I mean, you're a man in your 60s, Andy. You do get more sensitive to these things as you get older.
How many Cokes do you think I drink?
I think you drink 4 a day.
I don't drink 4 Cokes a day. Oh my God.
I have no idea. I just took a stab.
Sometimes I go, I don't know. It's like I don't even know anymore what the truth is with me. Is this the version I'm giving my aunt so she doesn't tell me to stop drinking coffee?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to be totally
I don't care. I don't honestly care if you confess to any of these things. I want you to examine them off air if you want.
Okay.
You aren't accountable to me. I am literally just trying to trigger these issues in your mind so you can examine them.
Yeah, I think there's so many things going on, and the CPAP thing was such a huge thing that changed everything. So, but then I thought, it's just nothing is a magic mushroom except a magic mushroom.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think that I am.
You notice how I went along with that without having any idea what the fuck you're talking about?
I have no idea. I was a little bit surprised because I didn't realize I didn't have to shovel out more shit.
I just went right, like it made sense. But
yeah. The point is this: I had a good run, and when you replace me, just maybe it doesn't have to be Jewish, okay?
Yeah,
and definitely younger. Get a younger co-host.
Yeah, I think the trick will be I'm the troubled one in the next podcast.
I just something struck me. I did that thing with that Zoom thing.
Yeah. Oh, did you do the Erica Rhodes show?
Yeah, I did the Erica Rhodes show. So at some point, surprisingly, Dana Schwartz is there.
Ah.
So he says he starts to tell the room, Andy's has a new album that's out. He didn't mention it. He was supposed to mention it. I don't know what he was saying, but it was like, are you kidding? I can't. I don't know. It was just like, they should have mentioned the podcast.
Hey, Dana, take it down a notch.
Yeah. Are you communicating with him secretly about, no, I don't believe that at all.
No, you think I would sick Dana on you to send my message? Am I not?
No. But I mean, he's like,
am I too indirect, Andy?
No, but there seems to be a general group thing that's I spent like an hour. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I know that I talked about our podcast for this Roommates for Life. So then I was like, I got to listen to this Roommates for Life. What if they didn't include it? What if they didn't include that part of it? So now I have like a complex.
I just gave you shit about it yesterday because I had just gotten an email.
Right, but you see, the thing is, it's a fun thing for you to do in a way, but I'm just saying I go all the way down the road. So I'm going to listen to this today, and then I'm going to send it to Josh. And I'm going to say, see, Josh, I did talk about it.
Well, you should talk about it, but I'm not going to be on your case about it. I'm miffed about the Marin one, because that one actually would be an actual bump.
You're miffed about it. That would have been the hardest one. Because I only did a few minutes, and so I thought he was coming on to. I don't know what to say. What's the matter? Well, everything I say when I sound defensive, it sounds wrong to me. So I don't really even know what I'm defending against half the time anymore.
Well, it's okay. I'm not going to be on your case about it anymore because apparently other people are. So
no, I think that to me was funny. I'm slightly out of sorts. So I'm out of sorts beyond the usual space cadet thing. I'm not even a space cadet. I don't know. It's like there's a no-win situation when you start this dialogue with yourself. It's annoying to others and it's annoying to myself, which is like the dialogue of.
Do you think that some of this is tied in with getting back into show business the last week or two?
It's more that I would describe it as being always in this personality that I have, and sometimes it just starts to overload in a weird way that I can't even put my fingers on. It's like I'm needy, I'm easily triggered, I'm defensive. I'm like even more when I go outside today, and I thought I walked so close to something. Whatever the thing happened, I putting my mask on. Did someone was I not on enough, or whatever the thing is? These things seem all magnified. So I like to say it's because of the recent family events, but it's hard to separate the recent family events from all the other stuff that's happening right now, which does seem almost surreal. And then that seems like a cliche to say because everyone's going through it. Everyone's going through it.
Right. Well, I think in your case, it could be considered a big, giant ball of shit. It doesn't necessarily need to be separated out.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, the reasons for what you're feeling aren't as important as dealing with what you're feeling.
Right. That's true. And so I think that I am dealing, I guess I can bring it back to my awareness. If I just bring it back to the awareness or being in the moment, however you decide that, then I can let go a little bit of there's a part of me that's really does want to find every part of this podcast where I talked about where I promoted the podcast. It's like it gets past what has nothing to do with what you're saying. It's like
well, it does.
Like a thing I do.
It does, but I mean, it's like I'm in the quandary of, okay, if I say this, I know I'm actually going to trigger something in Andy. But if I don't say it, then I'm not being myself. So we split the difference by me saying it and then us having a conversation about me having said it, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's
I mean, that's the curse. I mean, the curse for you, as I observe it, of now being in therapy, the sort of other side of the coin is that it's like a third conversation in your head.
Right.
Now, because now you have an emotional vocabulary So you have an outside you have the OCD voice, and then you have the therapy voice that understands the OCD voice better, and then you have and it's like three different things going on.
Yeah, and so I guess the thing is like I can't. But what I find very hard to do sometimes is stop. You know what I mean? Like I felt like 30 to 45 minutes ago, we'd already talked it out about the thing, and I feel like I can't stop saying, yeah, but you know that I whatever it is. And, I'll give a perfect example. It's like, I know that if I move in the chair, I'm going to make a creaking sound, right? So, and you are hearing the creaking sound. So if I load up it's like there's sometimes where I have all my ducks in a row and it's just simple. And there's other times where I don't have all my ducks in a row emotionally, so I may be yelling at myself.
Right.
Oh, God damn it. So it's like you don't even saying anything, but 3 nights ago you said, I can hear that coffee. I can hear that. Right. So now I'm loading up all of these things. I don't know what I get. I just realized what I got from it. It's the hypervigilance that I used to have to do. Right. That's what I think it is. Yeah. That somehow being hypervigilant to it and talking it out until I'm forgiven by the voice in my head. Right. So I think that's
well, with me, you're always forgiven as soon as I said it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like
if I'm comfortable enough to confront the issue with you, that means that I forgive you by confronting it.
Well, that's the thing too. But also, and that's why.
And also, I have to scold you sometimes because you just don't listen.
So you think bad cop sometimes works?
Sometimes I have to be bad cop, and I know that there's ramifications to the bad cop. But sometimes it's the only tool in the bag.
It's sad in a way, but you know what? In many ways, he's having a nice and he's having a good life.
Because there's no middle ground with you right now. You either forget or it's traumatic.
Yeah,
there isn't that just register like a regular person.
Well, but like I noticed that tonight. Like,
why was that helpful? That wasn't helpful.
What's that?
That wasn't helpful. I admit it now.
No, but the thing is, like, that's where the quarantine. I mean, maybe we've said it a million times already, but that's where it is like so instructive to me because, putting aside. Okay, let's say I'm telling you as a friend separately. This thing, like I can never be on time, right?
Right.
I can never be on time. Let's say I'm saying that to you separately, and it's not relating to you. Then to me, it's like I can explain to you. So in other words, I'm telling you this not to give myself excuses for being late, but I noticed tonight or any of these things where I need to be there on time. I still have trouble with that. I still have trouble with that. So I still have trouble being on time. So even if there's 4 hours or there's 10 minutes left, so it's all stuff that I'm either scared of or whatever, or it puts me into a funk. But I'm just trying to make it simpler and simpler, so that but it helps to know that it's not the 5 blocks that I'm driving over there. Right. It's not that my car is funny or. It's nothing. There's nothing, or that I have too much to do.
It is any deadline will give you stress.
Exactly. In fact, you just saying it that way, I hope I write that down. Any deadline gives me stress. So, but I don't know that it is stress a lot of times. I go right to
it's a reflex. You have to examine the reflex.
Yes. That is exactly, every deadline gives me stress. So if I don't acknowledge that that's what's going on and I try and run through that, then that's the thing I think I do miss sometimes is I'm not aware of when I give over to you're a terrible person or could be a terrible person depending on your next several actions. I don't sense when that enters me sometimes like it overtakes me.
Right.
I'm already, and what's bad about that is that it comes off as defensive to other people because you still say to yourself, oh, well, it's, he shouldn't tell me my chair's creaking. That's what I mean. That's why a lot of people try to set their lives up, right?
Right.
That's what Trump does, right? With Fauci.
Right.
I'm not comparing myself to Trump, and I'm not comparing you to Fauci.
Well, however that works, I'll take that.
Yeah, you'll take that. So, and so then once I'm into it, then it's just like it becomes more and more crushing. Whereas if I can just know, okay, that's what's happening, then I can breathe again. Because that is the difficult part is when you don't know why you're acting the way you're acting in a way. You're convinced that if I just, I guess I spent a lot of time in my life just running away from things, because I couldn't deal with them. So,
right.
Well,
you have different, I think because you panic a lot, you have different forms of panic.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you have a very funny, friendly panic version that I've seen, and you have a very angry panic, and you have a very scared panic, and
yeah, that's true. It's true. That is absolutely true. And then there's but I think the argument part of me, which is like that to me reminds me of childhood. This is not happening. This isn't happening. It's like the trying to stop trying to repress yourself out of it, or I can't explain it really, but just the part where I'm being a kid again, and not realizing that I'm being a kid, like lying and
fighting the truth,
fighting and lying and panicked,
right? Like
my life's going to be over, type of thing,
right?
So, but
well, I mean, I think the truth of it is that you are, in fact, beloved. And I think you are beloved for a version of you that is less than your ideal. If that makes sense. It
all makes total sense to me. It does make total sense. But I guess the fear for someone like me is because I've seen it in other people are, do you love me now? Do you love me now? Do you still love me now?
Right.
Like the self-sabotagey side of it, which I don't think I necessarily do that much.
No, I don't think it's quite that, really. No. I mean, I don't feel like you, but we've been very close friends for a long time, and I don't feel like you've ever done anything so panicky that I felt betrayed by you or that you turned on me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I do think I've done a lot of lying over the course of my life. I've done a fair amount of lying.
That's clear to me.
To avoid.
That's a go-to for you.
And I think,
but only because you admit it to me every time now.
Well, I think I recently admitted to you that up until maybe 4 weeks ago, I was still stealing money from my mom.
Yes.
So to me, that's like a really positive therapeutic experience for me, because I'm able to admit these things that probably people don't. Well, first of all, I know this right now. I'm going, well, they don't admit it, Andy, because they don't take money from their mothers.
No,
you know what I mean?
But I don't. But I think you have this sort of digress, confess wiring.
Yeah.
I think you have. I mean, your act is that. I mean, your digressions are apologies and confessions that your joke sucked.
Yeah. It's like what we were talking about pot the other day. We were talking about pot. I forget.
I don't know. You were lying about something.
I was lying. The pot cookies. That's what it was.
All right.
Pot cookies at the party.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I'll even go further. I'll go further. It was Zoe Friedman's part.
Was it really?
And I kept going back in and shoving cookies in my pocket.
Did you feel like you were stealing from Bud?
No. No, because I think that would have felt better.
Right.
But to steal from Zoe, what did she do? She never pushed me out of the aisle.
She put out a tray of pot cookies for all her friends.
Now, I didn't go to the point where they go in, there's nothing left, but I know I took some home with me.
Sure.
Which you're not supposed to do. So Zoe, that was me. Wow. But it wasn't me because I made sure to cover my track. I always cover my tracks somehow.
Yes.
Don't take the last thing.
I always cover my tracks by confessing on a podcast.
Well, now here's the other OCD. I just had this OCD thing. Well, what if you did do something terrible, Andy? Then what if you did something like you murdered someone? Maybe you shouldn't admit that.
Probably not.
How do I know I haven't murdered some? Well, you haven't murdered someone. This is the voice inside me. I know I haven't murdered someone. Yeah, but you could have done something bad.
You're capable of it. You steal from old ladies.
That's right. You steal for your mother. Your mother, after all, was an old lady. She didn't live in a shoe. But no, I think it's I think so. That part's therapeutic. But I don't think I'm trying to think if there's anything I haven't admitted yet. I mean, I have to have a private life.
Sure. And there's things you can admit to me off the air if you'd like.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of there's nothing I can think. I'll take this off the air at some point. Don't hang up on me though. All right.
All right. Well, so far, nothing that you've told me in 25 or 30 years has made you a terrible person.
Well, okay. So my argument will be so that the OCD part of my brain doesn't get to me tonight. I haven't done anything that's terrible. And I haven't done anything that is terrible, except but that part's all OCD, and also believing that I am terrible because that's what I was told when I was a kid about anything that was wrong.
Right.
Anything. So, I'm not able, in a way, to know the difference between taking money from my mom's pocketbook and robbing a bank. That's what OCD does. When you want to get into that kind of permutations of it, it accuses you. It goes, "What are you saying? You're saying stealing is right, Andy?" No. I'm just saying it was a couple of dollars from my mother's pocketbook. So, in other words, I can convince myself at the end of the evening I should be taken away.
Right. It's just, you're committing a crime against yourself, pretty much.
It is. It isn't a victimless crime either, because I'm a victim of my own crime.
Right. Although a lot of major criminals are too, really.
Okay, so would you say, if you had to say, more like Manson, less like... Am I more like a Manson or less like Manson?
You're more like a Milken, less like a Manson.
Thank you. Thank you, Todd. You said Todd. I can't believe you said Todd. Don't hang up on me. I swear to God, I can't take it when you do. I really can't. It would be the worst thing in the world right now. I tried to hang up on you.
You missed. You are such a...
when the airplane came along 20, 30 years ago, the older generation to a man said, "They'll never get me up there. I don't want to get high." The next generation, everyone's flying around in airplanes. The same thing is true with these new psychedelic drugs. And I'll say to your viewers, within 10 or 15 years, psychochemicals which expand consciousness and accelerate the mind and open up the wisdom that's inside will be just as common as books are today. When your kid comes home from school, you won't say to him, "What book did you read today?" You'll say, "Which molecule did you use to open up which Smithsonian Institute or which Library of Congress exists inside your own mind?" I know that sounds far out, but every new advance in science just seems impossible. How can you use drugs to open up your mind as an educational tool?
I've already messed up. I mean,
by answering that way, we could have covered otherwise.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of times you've called me during the day and you said, "Look, if we have a disagreement or something, just make sure you cover it up during the show."
Right.
So nobody knows. I want to make it seem as if we have a seamless podcast.
We got to Martin and Lewis it until it's over.
But here's the other problem. You're going to have to Martin and Lewis. I have now screwed up these headset, so it's dangling like a moron.
Yeah.
And so I'm hearing you through the thing. Okay, so now I'm just going to plug it in and hope it works on the... That work?
No, it does, yes.
Okay. Well, then maybe I don't have to beat myself up for 20 minutes about it, and then, which means I suck all the air out of the room, and then it's you have to say, Andy, even at your worst, and believe me, it's bad, you're still, I never feel like, hey, that guy should be executed.
That's true. Now, I have a strong feeling that I don't want to talk about your mental health tonight.
Oh, no. I think you should. I think that's where you're wrong. I want to give you the mental health update, and I think you will not. You know how normally, or as they say, I think you're supposed to say normally.
All right.
I don't know why I thought that would be funny. You notice how, like, I always think my anecdotes are going to be good, and then what do they turn out to be?
Less than good.
Less than good. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but certainly not something to write home about or to stick in the act or to do on panel.
Right.
But this, I think you'll be more happily. Okay, so my first one was a psychiatrist. I talked to my psychiatrist, and if people are following at home, I talked to my psychiatrist between 12:30 and 1. I'm just pausing for Peruche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a half hour.
Yes, because I am talking to, because I don't go through the entire, I don't quite do therapy with her. I check it. I mean, I do, but I'm checking in.
You go, I only need a half hour, Doc. I got Josh tonight.
No, you wish. I don't know why you wish, but you wish. It's more like, no, I have Stephanie. I have a double header before I go to Josh.
A double header?
Yeah, I got two. I had Stephanie at 2.
I don't know who Stephanie is versus.
Oh,
one's
that's my therapist. That's not my therapist. Not my therapist's name.
Okay,
Stephanie is not the name of my therapist. Okay,
one's a therapist and one's a psychiatrist. Is that the difference?
Well, the one who's not named Stephanie.
Yeah, we don't care.
Well, I'm naming Stephanie. Well, let's call her Stephanie.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, nice cover.
Is that another master criminal like you said I was last night? Master criminal. I can't hit the. Okay, I just realized something. We're not on FaceTime right now, right?
Yes, we are. Audio.
And Susan was asking me, and then I got curious. Why are we on FaceTime audio?
Because it's using the internet rather than the.
I got you.
The phone.
And are we recording?
It's not really better for us tonight. I have to say, it's a little glitchy.
And what's the problem? Do you think? Just the thing, right? No, it's your fault. It's not my fault.
It's not your fault. It might be your location. Sure? Has your location changed at all from a regular night?
I can change a little bit in the room. You want me to do that?
Let's see.
You never know these days. How's that?
Actually, so far it's better. Aside from the obvious chair action.
Does that give you a little bit of not evil pleasure, but pranky pleasure?
It kind of does, since
it's good, right?
If you're gonna if you you're gonna give me the source code.
Is that going to be one of the things that's going to be one of the sayings of our generation?
Source code?
Yeah, what else is like that?
I don't know. It was a good use of it, though, I thought.
It was very good use of it. But, I think it's along the lines of the DNA, which if you said it 50 years ago, nobody would know you're talking about.
Yeah, but
it's in his DNA.
See, but here's the thing, Andy. You have a problem with any phrase.
Because I feel like it's over?
Yeah, just,
Because that's nowhere. Settling on something good is nowheresville.
Yeah, source code was a perfectly legit.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual thing. It's not just a buzzword.
Well, most of my act is based on buzzwords because I do a lot of research about, like, for example, when that guy told me to change the word in my act.
Andy, put it back in the box.
Like, don't think outside the box?
Yeah. It was a buzzword joke.
Now I forgot my anecdote, which is better for both of us.
I'm sorry. Your act is based on buzzwords, which I
want to think
my act is based on buzzwords because of nothing. It's not happening.
What do you mean?
Your anecdote. I'm trying to trick.
I thought you were just doing like a Jerry Lewis thing. It couldn't have been that important. And that's where I've learned from I didn't learn that from today, but I should learn that when I forget what I'm saying, why don't you stop thinking the thing you forgot was pure gold genius and just have a conversation.
I stepped on it. I just thought I had
it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but I may remember. But anyway, so the first person, my psychiatrist just wanted to make sure I was doing okay and like medication wise.
Right.
So I think so. And if you don't back me up on this, I can talk to her on my next appointment. But I said, I think everybody agrees I'm at the right. Like when we went down to the to where I am now, do you have any reason to think that I need more? Or it's hard to. You're not a doctor right now.
I'm not a doctor. I think this is your most functional level.
Sad. So,
well, I mean, we've spent the last 3 nights talking about the shit that's still going on. So I don't know. But I'm like going maybe 10 more milligrams. I don't know.
No, well, you've been very, very. I mean, I'm telling you, you were instrumental. I know you were a musician, but you were instrumental because I brought up that you said, why am I doing it later at night?
Right.
So then we decided to put a cutoff time. And so the cutoff time I have to try and go with 6, which I went with tonight.
Good.
But then I said, but I have the podcast at 9. So I'm always like thinking I've got to be on for that. But then I said, she goes, well, what you not be on now? I said, well, no, I think I have to let that go, that I have to be on for the podcast.
Yeah.
And not even on. It's more like I want to be lucid.
I think 3 hours after an Adderall, you're still riding that Adderall.
Well, this will be interesting because I really have a tendency to want to do it if I'm on the road, but that will never happen again. So I guess I'll worry about that later. Right. But no, it just means what you said. If you take it at 6, you'd be tossing and turning at 2 or 3. It would be amazing if it turns out that that's 90% of my problem.
Well, I'm hoping.
Right. And then she said that, so she was trying to figure, see, the thing that I learned was, and this is I learned from both of the sessions was, my problem becomes when I go from the local to the global.
Right.
So if I'm upset about something and then I turn on the TV and get a half hour of that, then I'm actually confused about, it's like the Alcoholics Anonymous thing about knowing the difference about what you can change and you can change and knowing the difference, not knowing, if I'm laying the global on top of my local problems to overwhelm me, that's not the good use of watching the news or inhaling news and also that's the type of thing that will lead me to tweet at somebody. I'll tweet at somebody, you fucking, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the opposite of comfort food, whatever that is.
Yeah. It's the opposite of comfort food. And it makes you think we're doomed. And we are already we all feel that already. So there's no reason to.
Yeah, but you already feel like you're doomed to begin with. You need humanity to prop you up.
You think so? Really?
I guess that's my. That was my glib little response.
I liked it. You did it very. I heard a slight sing-songy flavor to it.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell it as true advice or anything.
Yeah. So, and then my psychiatrist, who doesn't, what she's trying to think is like. So anyway, so she said, she goes, "Do you ever use?" I said, "I'm pretty good on the Xanax." She gives me a prescription for Xanax like once every couple of months.
Yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, I'm okay on this." I haven't had to use it that much for panic. And she says, "Well, have you ever used it to try and sleep?" I say, "Yeah, I absolutely have, and it seems to help." And she says, "Good." So in other words, my problem when I first went to the psychiatrist was always thinking that that everything I'm doing is wrong, like it's a drug, like the Adderall. Oh, she can't find out about that. But she's actually curious to make sure that I'm medicating with the right stuff for the right thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
she said something that I thought was really great was that, I said, well, I'm just trying to, like, when I start to feel anxiety, to not overload on the anxiety or to start to obsess and then go. And so I can recognize areas where I obsess and I don't go down those paths. And so she said something, she said like the growth and comfort are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, or on the opposite ends. Growth and comfort are on opposite sets of the opposite sides of the spectrum. So when I'm feeling like, I start to think about my mother or my sister and it starts to make me uncomfortable, my normal thing is I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I want to relieve that right then.
Right.
Or I want to, normally with obsession. But now it's like, if I can just say, you know what, become a little bit comfortable with the painful feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that's part of the grief processing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's true.
You can feel the pain and sadness, and then you can accept it. Now, I thought she was great. I thought this was really great. So,
you can't. I mean, I'm a big. You can't fend it off. You're gonna feel it's gonna either come at you straight or it's gonna come at you sideways. But
that's true.
But we have to mourn. That means different things to every single person. But you have to have the process happen, and you can't just keep it at arm's length, or it'll get around.
And also, I can do without, any, it seems to be, it'll penetrate you no matter what you do. So you might as well just let it in or whatever. But the other thing is,
when you're thinking about it directly, it's not tricking you into thinking it's something else,
Yeah. Yes. You can use it. My mind went blank again. I don't know why my mind went blank, but
it's not because you don't have enough Adderall.
Maybe if I did here's what I'm suggesting. A half of a 10 milligram, but I snort it at 5 to 9.
Right. Trump style.
I'm tired of people ruining the reputation of Adderall by talking about him using it.
Yeah.
Do you think he snorts Adderall?
I don't know. I really don't.
That's the thing. Who cares? Right?
Yeah. I don't think that's what makes him crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. That was it. And my second one, that was basically
that's good. So it was a very productive day. If for nothing but pain and growth are at the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yes. Is that something you would have thought about?
Rather comfort and growth. Right.
Comfort and growth. And what she's saying is what I don't normally like to deal with is, and this really is 100% me. I don't like emotional discomfort. So that's when I retreat into, if I just listened to a podcast, if I just did this, if I just smoked a joint, if I just did this, but if you can stay with it, it doesn't even stay as discomfort. I don't even think. I mean, most of the stuff I'm scared of experiencing, 99% of it does not come out like I'm fantasizing and worrying about how it's going to be when I talk about it.
Right.
So I moved my jury duty till the end of the year.
It wasn't canceled?
No. I went online to move it and they said, if you were scheduled between March and a week before Andy Kindler's jury duty started, you don't even have to do anything. In other words, you've done it. That's jury duty. But I, unfortunately, wasn't in that week. But I was in the week where I was able to push it back till after Thanksgiving. So, and I just have a feeling who knows what's going to happen then.
Well, when I did it in that time frame, that was the one time I got like a traffic case.
Oh.
And it was in Burbank, so.
Oh my God.
Because things are slow at the very end of the year, so I think that was a good call.
Yeah, but they've done me every time.
There's a lot of cases that they aren't going to start right before the holidays.
But they've let me this is the second time I've postponed, which they don't really care. If you're in the system, they're basically doing a high five.
Right.
If you're not trying to escape. But this time it's the same place, which I don't love that place, the Shortridge Center downtown. I don't like doing
the Clara Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Building.
Exactly, my friend.
I've spent literally months of my life there.
Is it depressing?
Yeah.
And how long? If I'm on a case, how long will I get burnt out on? Yes, there are good food choices around that area.
It depends if you are willing to take a shuttle bus somewhere during the lunch break.
What's a shuttle bus? There's
like downtown
buses?
shuttle buses that are running around. So, like you could go to Philippe's.
Ooh.
And places like that. I was always just wanted to go off by myself usually, or get something done, or make phone calls. So I never really even went to lunch much.
So you never went to the group talks where you say, we're not supposed to talk about the case, but can you believe that guy's so goddamn guilty?
No, I did not. I did not hang with the gang.
What's that place that's like an indoor market that has a few different places that's kind of cool down there? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. There's a few of those now around.
It's like a Mercado. I don't know what
it's more built out around there. There's a lot of stuff around there now.
Yeah. This is your father's downtown L.A. What?
I said...
What's the matter? Do you have a lawnmower there?
I do.
Oh, boy, I'm rich today. I've got it today. I'm backed up. I'm full of spit and vinegar, piss and spit. What are you drinking over there? What do you got? Is it beer time?
No, it's a LaCroix. Plain.
That is to me, these LaCroix, maybe I should do a show where, let me get on the most stupid soapbox, the most ridiculously unimportant soapbox.
If you've heard more than two people mention something, you hate it.
Right. Why do I hate this cra? First of all, they don't pronounce it like the French pronounce it, which is cra.
It would be actually
qua.
Yeah,
but it's not a French word they're saying.
No, it's a cross between La Crosse, Wisconsin, and the St. Croix River, which is how it's pronounced in those parts.
I hope they burn in hell. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little too crazy with it. I like it. It's a nice item.
We hurt French in Minnesota.
Please tell me that Minnesota will never become like Wisconsin. I fucking hate these people. And I like Wisconsin. I like Madison, Wisconsin. But did you see, I don't think we talked about this. Did you see these idiots? Maybe we did talk about it.
We didn't, but yes, I saw those idiots go out to the bar.
These idiots, what are they trying to prove? That you could get COVID? They're not afraid to get COVID? Explain why I shouldn't be insulted by or angry.
Well, you should. I mean, it's absolutely, but it's that, oh my God, we're doomed sort of thing where you just go, this is actually the first plague that is here to wipe out stupid people.
Yeah. And these people in Wisconsin who kind of look like they're partiers or something, these people are like, they're actual cult members. There are people who I think were previously not even as ridiculously.
Well, I mean, I think, I think there's a little bit of a caveat when it comes to Wisconsin and bars. That cult supersedes the more recent one.
Yeah, but I make the mistake of thinking of Wisconsin being like Minnesota. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
And in fact,
it's one notch dumber.
Now, Madison is a great city. Fun city, but
yeah, just ask Otis Redding.
Is that where he got killed?
Yes.
Was he sitting on a bay there, or?
No, he crashed into a bay there.
I didn't know that. He died too young. I think he was another one of those 27-year-old people.
He crashed into Lake Mendota.
Okay, what's this movie? What's this from? That is not Lake Mendota. What movie is that from? I changed the name of the movie. I changed the name of the lake.
Yeah, it's Purple Rain, sort of.
That's right.
Yes.
Which was a variation on the
way you said it. The way you said it took it another notch away from it being Purple Rain.
Well, it's
based
is not
on Lake Mendota.
Mendota, but that is not my dog. Is the joke it's based on?
Yes, it is.
Now, what I feel...
I was just watching the Prince concert tonight from that tour on YouTube. The Prince Estate is playing a 1985 concert from the Purple Rain tour on YouTube.
Is it cool?
It's very cool. I actually saw it live in Minneapolis or St. Paul.
That is very cool. Now, I want to ask you a question. Wait a second. I just went over. I didn't listen to what you just said. Obviously.
Of course.
You saw what because I was thinking about this next thing, which I don't want to forget.
Just get it out of your system, because I actually have things I want to talk about, so go ahead.
All right, let's go. Get it out of there. Oh, get it out of my system.
Yes.
Why I haven't seen Pink Lapoon. No, Pink the Panther. I never saw the Pink Panthers.
So
aren't they isn't the first movie like the greatest movie?
That's A Shot in the Dark is the first one.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, is it the greatest movie?
No, but I didn't think that was supposed to be as good. What's the Pink Panther movie?
Pink Panther was the second one. Then it was the
and what did you think of it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it since like 1978.
But that. See, if you would have signed me that movie, I would have felt even worse not watching it.
Thus, the end of homework.
Exactly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to turn the spotlight, which I often do on the show, after I go on about myself and my pain, to Josh Elvis Weinstein in his day. Take it away.
Thank you for giving me 10 minutes of this week-long podcast. I appreciate it.
And you know what? You deserve it.
Well, now it's not even a conversation. Now it's just like you're stepping out.
Believe me, you're better off making a big fanfare about me listening.
I don't have any faith that you are, but I'll go on ahead anyway.
Okay. You just said you don't have any faith that I am.
So there's two movies I watched over the weekend or over the last few days. Both very good, both very dark. Ace in the Hole, which have you seen?
I know the name.
Which I've seen before, but I hadn't seen it with adult eyes, I don't think. Billy Wilder, Kurt Douglas is the star, and it's full of despicable people.
I like those kind of movies.
Yeah, it's in that same vein of it's that same sort of cynicism that drives the Dusty Rhodes, Andy Griffith, whatever that one's called. Face in the Crowd.
Right, and that's not a genre. It's not like noir. Is it a genre like that kind of?
It's like humanity noir.
Oh, thank you. Anytime you hit anything strong, I'm suspicious.
But Kirk Douglas is a down on his luck reporter who goes to this small town and tries to get back in the game, and then there's a guy gets trapped in a mine, and he engineers this big story, and through his venalism, he gets everyone else to play along, and he ends up extending the time it takes to rescue the guy just to make it a longer, better story.
Wow.
It's dark and horrible.
But it was good, right?
And no one is redeemed, and it's good, yeah. The other was Altman, California Split, I watched on Amazon Prime the other night.
Oh, I wanted to watch that one.
I think it might be my favorite Altman movie.
That's amazing that I've never really heard of it.
Well,
I've never seen it. I have heard of it.
It hasn't been around much because I think it was held up with music rights a lot, so it didn't make it to home video much, I don't think. But I mean, it's still an Altman movie, which hurts my ADD a lot because of the overlapping dialogue, and there's a lot of it in this because it's a gambling movie.
How does that hurt your ADD?
Because my mind latches on to each conversation.
Oh.
It's the same reason I have trouble at cocktail parties, is because my ear just latches on to words.
I've never quite understood that. Have you explained that to me before?
I don't know, but I can't. But I can't have two disparate conversations in one room.
Yes, you can't.
It gives me anxiety, kind of.
Yeah, makes sense.
And when you multiply that, it gives me more anxiety.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like I can't pay attention to the person I'm talking to because my ear keeps getting pulled.
Yeah, you get like an Andy Kindler thing going, right?
I do. It's horrible.
It's like that's how I feel all the time, except there's no other conversation.
No, there is. It's just totally internal.
In my head.
Yes. We described the 3 different conversations yesterday. But California Split's Elliot Gould and George Segal are the 2 stars. And it's just a really depraved gambling movie. And really, it's sort of Elliot Gould at his over the top yet completely naturalistic best.
Right. Yeah.
And George Siegel's really good in it. It's worth a watch.
I think George Siegel can be entertaining.
Yeah, he was great in lots of stuff.
Well, who's the other actor again?
Elliot Gould.
Yeah, and I think he could be. Now, was he in like all the? No, he was in at least two Altman movies, right?
He was in at least a few. I mean, he was in MASH. He was in The Long Goodbye. He was in.
Hey, have we seen The Long Goodbye?
I have, but not in a long time.
And do you like it?
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I sound like somebody who's
it's
interested.
It's like a modern take on Philip Marlowe.
Is it Marsha Mason in that, or is the guy from Close Encounters in that?
I can't remember.
Who's the guy who's in Close Encounters and he's in another movie and I'm talking about American.
God, it's like a 90-year-old woman.
American Graffiti. Who was the fellow who was
Richard
in American?
Dreyfuss?
Yes, Richard Dreyfuss. And do you know what else is a movie I've never been able to get through but always looks like it's going to be good? Is The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz.
Yeah. Have
you seen it?
When I was a teenager on cable.
Don't you dare cough on me. No. I swear to God, I thought you were going to hang up. Why would that have hurt my feelings really badly? Don't do it now.
I'm not going to, because I have more to talk about.
Okay.
I'm cutting bait on a lot of the list, but I did want to ask, how was, you did Zoom stand-up this week, right?
Yeah.
And how did you play it?
I actually think it's a great, the thing is this, it's going to be problematic. You can hear everybody's laughing in your ears. You can hear other people laughing, the audience, but they sound a little too close. You don't want to hear what the person in the back of the room is kind of whispering.
Right.
So that's weird. And so I think it's not going to be a saving grace. But the thing I liked about it was I worked on stand-up. And so like, your joke killed. And I was also able to play with how to say too soon ye. Right. And I got laughs talking about my own incompetence. So I think it's a good thing because the Zoom software, I think, is pretty decent software. So it's not like you're free, inherently with this form, you're going to have freezing and glitches and that gets annoying.
Right.
But I thought it was fun.
Okay, good. I'm doing it Saturday night. I'm doing a guest.
What are you doing?
A guest set at the Acme show.
Oh, now that's exciting. I don't know why I'm more excited about that than I should be, but it's exciting because that's like an Acme. You'll get more Minnesota people then, probably.
Probably,
right?
Yeah. I checked in with Lewis the other day, and he asked me if I wanted to do it. So.
And you know why I love it? Looking at my notes.
Right. Did you have it
right there?
Did you have it on screen?
No, I'm not prepared enough to do that. That's why I think I told you this last night, is that I realized, and this is another example, I'm late for something that you don't have to leave for.
Right.
There's no logistics involved. So it's really good to know that so I can even start earlier. Like tonight, I blew it, but so what? I know I can make it better. What am I running for something?
I don't know. You're not on probation.
I think that you can't. I think this is like stand up without any of the pressure or uncomfortableness or like having to leave the house, unless it's a situation that I noticed last night where the people are actually kind of sometimes talking to you in a way or reacting in a way. Like one person reacted, I'm sorry, I had a hard day at the office, something like that.
Oh, boy.
I'm telling you, you're not going to believe how much you love it. It's going to be like, have you tried that Second Life?
Did you do it from your chair or did you stand up?
I did it from my chair. Because that's the thing. I started to think, the only note to myself is the note that my wife is giving me, which is like, and even other things. I can improve the lighting for it and improve. So that's something I could control and do better and make sure there's nothing on my mouth, old man stuff.
Right.
Because she says my face is looming, my face is in all in the grill of the audience, which is okay. But I have a tendency to go too close.
Well, you lean in for effect.
For a fact, but then this is not a joke, or it is a joke. I fell off the stage once at a corporate gig. You try out of neediness. Because I'm really feeling more and more uncomfortable. So part of compensating for that is to edge closer to the stage.
I just love that, you have at least 3 really funny fall stories.
All right. That was at a gig in Duluth. That was a gig in Duluth.
I bet it was at the Radisson, I bet.
Yeah, that was set up by Acme. And I worked with that guy. He's a great guy. He's Ryan Hamilton. So Ryan Hamilton can verify that he saw me fall off the stage. Okay, that's one. What's the second one's Letterman?
Letterman Pogo Stick is the best, obviously, because A, it was on national TV, and B, it was just above and beyond. And then there's backflip down an escalator.
I wish you could have been there. I wish you could have seen, because you could see my like the kind of way that I operate, where it's like I'm panicked, but I am kind of a little, what's it called when you're a little bit MacGyver-like? Like you have some skills just from how fucked up you have been many times.
Right.
So I kind of was able to feel my way out of it, even though I flipped over.
It's more, I would say more Wallenda-like than MacGyver-like.
I'll never forget that. That kind of not having sleep, I don't think I could do for another 10 years and be alive.
No, I don't think so. I think you're on the path, though. I think you're on the path back.
Oh, I thought you were saying I'm on the path to being dead in 10 years.
No.
No.
God forbid.
Now, I did we already established, I'm not kidding around, that you're going to be running traffic. You're in charge. You're going to be hosting my bedside death.
Yes. emceeing your death.
It's so good. It's really good. It's good. The one thing I'll miss is the constant complaining.
Next up is James Adomian. You'll still be here, right, James? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Josh, come closer. You're standing on my air hose. You're standing on my air hose. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that in its original environment.
I don't know. It's something that you've constructed it as the go-to vaudeville bit, though.
No, the go-to vaudeville bit is when in the Abbott and Costello show where he reaches up for a can of antipasto and instead takes the ant paste. Which I don't know about your kitchen. Don't you separate? You don't keep your ant paste for that very reason, right?
Yeah, well, it's the alphabetical thing. It's very anal retentive.
What? And now explain to me what kind of antipasto comes in a can.
Well, if I can't get past the non-existent ant paste,
is probably worse. It's never ant paste. Oh, that makes me laugh. Did you see the thing I put on Twitter? If not, I'll send it to you. I just think it's remarkable. It's from Andy Griffith's show where it's called where Mayberry Goes Hollywood.
No.
And it's a series of lines where Andy goes, "Oh, Barney, at ease." And Barney's in an outfit, right? He's in some kind of a military outfit. He goes, "Oh, Barney, at ease." And Barney goes at ease. He goes, "Barney, will you relax?" And then Barney steps back into an relaxed pose.
Uh-huh.
And there's, "Come on, Barney, be serious." And then Barney leans in with a serious pose. And then they just go right on. They don't even, it's just so, it's like you wouldn't even notice. It's like, literally looks like so low deadpan played. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What else you got? I know you had more and I fucked it up. This was your time.
It's all right. I made a brisket today for about 8 hours.
That sounds like a joke. Why don't you go make a brisket for 7 or 8 hours? I love brisket. How did it come out?
Really good.
Whoa. You've never made one before, right?
I have, yes.
Is that the one what's the one that they make it it's pastrami's hard, right? Have you ever made pastrami?
Not really. I have smoked corned beefs, which ends up being pretty pastrami-esque.
Yeah, I'd be scared to try and do that. Man, brisket. Brisket is what that thing was made for, right?
It's one of them.
What a boring guy I am. What a boring questioner. Oh, just a boring conversationalist. Boy, I bet you're enjoying that pellet spinner. That's not even the name of it.
No.
It's not a pellet spinner, right?
It's spinner and paddlefoot.
Oh, what's a paddlefoot? No. Is that how you operate it?
No, it's nothing.
Okay. Nothing.
It was a reference.
Oh, I'm sorry. What am I? What are you, Bobby Reference?
Yes.
You've got more references than... Who has references in history?
I've got more references than...
Heard one story in this 38-year marriage, 40-year relationship you had with Gracie, where you strayed once, and I think got caught.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell it to you. I did. And Gracie wanted a centerpiece for the table. I said, silly, we don't need it. And then I found out from the maid that Gracie knows about this thing I had with this girl. The next day, I not only brought home a silver centerpiece for seminar, I bought Gracie a diamond ring for $10,000. I gave it to her. She never said one word. She took the diamond ring, she took the centerpiece, and then 6 or 7 years later, she said to Mary Benny, I wish George would cheat again. I need another centerpiece.
I am here.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Barry Albert. Albert. I always forget that too. Alfred. Albert. It's got to be Alfred, right?
Yes.
Good evening, Alfred Hitchcock.
Good evening, Andy Kindler.
You sound a little bit like you could be Hal or somebody like that.
Hal the robot?
Hal, well, yeah, like, good evening, Andy Kindler.
Good evening, Andy Kindler. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't go on with this podcast. It doesn't make sense.
And who does that voice? Should I know who does that voice?
I want to say it was William Daniels, but I'm not sure. No, William Daniels was not. He was the voice of Kit on Knight Rider. It was someone else.
Wow. Well, but I think it's another voice you should add that to your repertoire. I mean, like when people say that? Hey, you should add that to your thing.
I appreciate the compliment, Andy. I will think about doing that.
I don't know about this now. Oh, how come you cut out? In other words, if I talk, you automatically cut out? That doesn't make any sense at all. Now I'll try and do the same impression. You ready? Hello? Hello, Hal. No, who's Hal?
Hal's the robot. Hal's who I was doing.
No, but Dave. And who's Dave? Is he talk to Dave?
Dave's not here, man.
No, but who's the name of the guy in the movie in 2001?
Dave.
He is Dave, right?
Dave's not here, man.
Hey, you have talk about a mashup, right?
Yeah. 2001, a Cheech Odyssey.
A who?
A who, did you just say?
A Cheech Odyssey?
Yeah.
A Cheech?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he's I never can think of Cheech and Chong being Cheech. Hey, although I think Cheech is also from Annie Hall when he's waiting to see the sorrow and the pity, and she's late, and the guys come up, you're on the Johnny Carson.
Right, but the real clue was that it was a Cheech and Chong bit I was referencing.
Yeah, but he goes, I just got attacked by two guys named Cheech.
There you go. Another pop culture Cheech reference.
Well, I never put the two together before because they probably don't go together.
They do now.
Are you announcing that like a beat? Like they do now, Andy, and it's all in your brand new, did you think of the Newlywed Game when they said did we go over this? That's a gift chosen. When I was a kid, I thought they had chosen, they go, it's chosen especially for you. We know you have that room that's not doing well or something. And I always thought they had like a different gift for each person, but it couldn't be.
Right. Well, they didn't say we know you have this room that's not doing well. They just said, And here's your prize chosen specially for you.
Oh, you think I filled that in?
You did.
We know your room isn't doing well.
Yes.
Hey, Stephanie, and
because here's how it would have sounded. Here's your prize chosen especially for you because we know your room isn't doing well. Doesn't really.
Well, I was paraphrasing.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's more like this. We know that there's a patio that you've been wanting to put a.
We know there's a massive couch-shaped void in your life.
We know that you're short on patio furniture. I find patio furniture to be a very bizarre group of items to shop for.
Yeah. It's shockingly expensive if you buy stuff that's not going to break in a day.
Oh, is that why? Oh, I guess that's why. So when you say shockingly expensive, what are you talking?
I'm not talking. I'm just
okay,
saying.
Good. You know why you don't want to say anything? Because you don't want anything that would lead you back into talking about the price of refrigerators.
It's true.
Do you have your new refrigerator in?
I do not. It comes Monday. I'll have I'm getting it the day this comes out.
Oh, okay. So that's why you couldn't fit the soup you made for me in anything, because is your current thing dead?
No, the fridge is working fine. It's just I had just gone grocery shopping, so I didn't have room for a pot of soup to sit there and wait for you.
Hey, for 5 figures, I would think there'd be a place for you to keep someone's soup, a sock drawer, and something funnier.
It was, but it was full of food.
That's a good feeling, that full of food, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have I somehow brought you down? You seem to be in a good mood when you got on the phone.
No, I've been on a downward slide most of the day, and then my mood really flipped when I ordered dinner, and I just got a shitty ass burger.
Oh.
I ordered like a Wagyu burger, and it was like completely well done and not good.
Oh. Where'd you order it from? Is it from a place that we know near us?
It's from Stanley's. Fuck you, Stanley's.
Hey, now remember now, Josh, you don't want to be saying the specific name of the place. So you're saying Stanley's, but that's not the name of the place, right?
Stanley's, fuck you.
Have you had anything good from Stanley's?
I've had lots of good things.
Because I don't know if I've ordered
once in a while, they take a left turn, and it's fuck you, Stanley's. Because the whole thing is it's like, I've been cooking great food, but I wanted a night off. So
right.
So my feeling is, hey, I'll get some really good food for me that someone else will make. No, fuck you.
It didn't work out. Well,
and normally, it's pretty much dirt off my shoulder, but I'm in quarantine, so yeah. I'm a little delicate right now. So anything can send me off in a direction.
Well, it's funny because it's not funny, but I was talking to Todd Barry last night. Now that's not a name drop, right? I'm just telling a friend of mine, right?
No, he would be too flattered if you called it a name drop.
So, and he was telling me that he's been having a lot of rage, yeah. From like everything will be fine, but if he drops a piece of ice cream or he drops something, he can't take it. He goes ballistic.
Yeah, I don't go ballistic, but I just there are days.
Yeah,
there's days where it's easy to hit an off ramp.
Yeah, it is. Well, I remember my dad once came home from work and he was so upset, and my mother started on him. He threw the pizza. I think I've told this story many times. He threw the pizza down so hard. So it was always like you just waited for it to. With my dad and my mom could really get to you. And
every time after that, I can just picture you. You'd come home with pizza and you'd be like, "Here, let me take that, Dad."
But what's an amazing thing is this feeling that I feel to this day is that, first of all, I understood his rage at my mother,
right.
When it happened, but it was also scary.
Sure.
But then there was also, I'm glad it's not me.
Right.
And that's the way I lived half my life. as a youngster.
I remember there being. I wasn't either awake or there for it happening, but one day a hole in the drywall on the stairwell appeared, where apparently my father had punched it in anger, and I don't even know what prompted the anger,
right?
But it was like, your father punched it. And I was like, one of those.
I like that. Your father punched it. You could see him getting that way sometimes. But I guess everybody gets that way. Everybody.
He would blow his. He was either calm or he would blow his top. And it was very rare that he blew his top, but when he did, you didn't fuck with it. All right. Jacob Chicken says, I just found Martin Mull's live albums and really like them. What do you two think about them? Can you recommend something similar? Do you need a bathroom break?
That's not a runner, is it?
No.
I have never heard any of his comedy albums. I've only heard him. I think he's hilarious, but I've only heard him on the Fernwood. On that one of my favorite shows, which was Fernwood Tonight.
Right.
And I think I'm trying to think if I've seen him on Carson and stuff like that, but never. I would think it would be a funny album though.
Yeah, he had a big band and he was a guitar player and so it's Martin Mull and funny Martin Mull music. You can't lose.
Yeah, I love him.
But someone like him, I don't know. I don't think there is anyone like. I really think there's no one like Martin Mull.
He is really, he really is a comedian unto himself, which is why the Fernwood thing was such a great format for him because it perfectly captured him.
Yeah.
Like his style of comedy.
Yeah, I love the guy. I think he's great. I think he's someone who used showbiz to build a happy life rather than a life to build a showbiz career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always feel like he's a little, I feel like there's a certain amount of pretension in him, but maybe I'm wrong. Like when he talks about his paintings and stuff.
I don't think there is really. I think there's a sort of, his whole presentation is sort of broadcaster-ish.
Yes, you're right. So that when he's talking, you're right, because I think I'm filling in the blanks of how I would feel if I was showing my paintings that he wouldn't like them or something. That's what I think it is. And he's just not, not even, no, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's not even saying that. You know how sarcastic he is? But if I say, Martin Mull, I paint too. And well, I can certainly see that, Andy. I know he doesn't sound that way.
Right. But you had you had a whole imaginary thing with him and ended up mad at him.
I have so many of these types of things that as I'm looking back over my life, at least I'm able to let them go and realize, you really don't know that you filled in the blanks there. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes someone is pretentious and you go, I'm right. He was pretentious.
Absolutely. But I don't think,
yeah,
I don't think it's your percentage is good enough to say you have pretendar.
No, definitely not. I do not have pretendar. I'm listening to these the podcasts that Ben Mankiewicz does, and he's interviewing Peter Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Peter Bogdanovich is clearly, I like him, I love him. He's definitely pretentious.
Oh God, yeah, I interviewed him once, and he's, but there's something, people who are narcissists who know they're narcissists and just go with it, and he's one of those.
Oh, he's great. He's great.
Are very entertaining. Yeah. That's Michael Debar is one of those people.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. And he is, he's so, and also just, he really does literally have the greatest stories because before he was directing, he did interview all these different directors and then later got to be friends with them and recorded all these interviews with directors and stuff. So he really tells you great stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, he wormed his way into a whole lot of people's, grill.
Right. It's like he quoted Orson Welles, and I thought this was a great quote.
He kind of did with directors what Judd Apatow did with comedians.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Yes, he did. Yes, I agree. You said it perfectly. But he said that Hitchcock said, never use an establishing shot to establish something. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I heard that. I've been listening to it too. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a good one. That one, I really like that. And I also, know that he was on WTF with Marks was pretty good, and I know that you had talked, and I remember you had talked to him.
Yeah, we had a good interview with him.
Was that in person?
Yes, on the Edge show.
So what's it like to be around a live Peter Bogdanovich?
Well, he's kind of shaky physically. Like
right.
he walks without a cane, but there's a sort of leaning. There's like you know how like orbiting the Earth is really falling.
Right.
it's that same sort of thing where it's like he's leaning in that way where it's like momentum is what's moving him forward. But he's very much like he sounds on the Mankiewicz interview. You know, he loves talking about himself. He's got most of the stories down, but you can still get in a side question that he'll answer in a non-pat way. You know. Yeah.
And interesting when Ben would confront him on things, you know, like he was very honest. Like, don't you think you kind of brought this on yourself? He goes, yeah, we really were acting poorly. You know, him and Sybil.
Yeah, he's very smart, and he's very he's seemingly pretty self-aware, even though you always wonder how someone self-aware can still decide to come off pompous. You know, but
well, even the way he talks about the thing with his wife.
Yeah,
it's like he talks about that. It almost sounds like he's, it's like almost autistic in a way about it. Or I don't know.
Well, he definitely has some hostility. When I talked to him, you could tell he had some hostility about Polly and just the things that she takes credit for or has been given credit for that he doesn't feel is warranted. You know, there's that kind of turf issue. It seems like with her.
Yeah, and I bet that there's some kind of truth in the middle because, and I'm not saying that just to say that it always is that way, but I do think that that a lot of people try to discount his eye completely. You know, like it was all her. So maybe that's what But I'm sure. But obviously, she did have an amazing. They were an amazing team together, which he never found again. I don't think. I don't know. I'm only up to the 4th episode. That's all they have.
Right.
I forget the movies he did afterwards. After the first 4, Daisy May and...
He had the little movie, then he did Last Picture Show, and then he did Paper Moon, and then he did What's Up, Doc. And
is What's Up, Doc good?
It's okay. You know, it's a sort of madcap comedy with Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal.
And I think The Last Picture Show, to me, is a perfect movie.
Yeah,
pretty perfect.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So now we're back to the running gag of sous vide. Sent mid-April. Hey, Edward G. Robinson. Has the situation improved? See?
I'm going to follow suit what I always do and pretend I don't know. What is this something new or is this something he's talked about before? But I do know. I'm playing the dumb guy. That's the important thing to know when I'm playing the dumb guy and when I am the dumb guy.
Okay, well, answer it then.
The situation has not improved.
As Edward G. Robinson.
See?
All right.
The situation has not improved, see?
Well, all right. Well, you made a feast out of that. Natweet Bahara says, I think a bunch of us out here would pay an online fee to watch either of you guys do a stand-up show on Zoom or something. Andy, it's finally time for your paywall.
Well, I'm totally into doing these. I just don't want to do like a headline set or something, like a long set.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that we're climbing on other people's shows.
Yes, I'm doing the Acme show tomorrow night.
Yeah. And if you want more, like they want a homemade version or something, like Andy and Josh do stand up in the same Zoom presentation.
Yeah, how about we do a whole video of us trying to figure out how to set up a fucking ticketing system for that bullshit, huh?
We could. I know that would be. Yeah. By the time we would figure it out, the virus would be over. Virus would be over? Oh God!
You sound like Trump.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm here to announce that we are going to have a Manhattan Project to find a vaccine. However, regardless, we're back, baby.
Have a Manhattan.
Have a Manhattan. We're open for business. He thinks that, I really do think he thinks that people are like ants that will just sacrifice themselves for him.
Well, he has a certain percentage of ants.
That's true.
Oh man, that's the one. That's the thing that's been getting me down this week the most is America.
Right? Has that been the But is it America or just him?
No, it's America. It's fucking the bar full of dipshits in Wisconsin. It's you know.
Yeah. I would be sick my whole life if I was ever caught in a bar in Wisconsin, you know, basically saying, come on, let's all give each other COVID.
It's just, I just have this very strong and certain feeling that we are going to just fuck this up so badly at first.
Yeah. Well, he already has, but he won't even step out of the way.
But I don't mean he. I didn't even say he. I said we, as a nation, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we are fucking it up because we haven't figured out a way how to stop him. But I don't know if you can stop this guy. I don't understand it, really.
Well,
I mean, I understand it, but the Republicans...
But again, it's not just him.
No, but it is only him and the Republicans.
No, it's fucking idiots. It's fucking idiots who are like, you can't tell me to put on a mask.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not. I'm not talking about policy things. I'm talking about just fucking idiots.
Yeah, they are idiots. There's really no way. There's no way you can put a fine point, or not a fine point.
And just the vast percentage that we are now saddled with in this country.
Yeah.
If you were invited to a party and you knew that 45% of the people there were just going to suck, would you go?
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't.
I'm sorry.
I can't talk you out of the gutter or whatever it is, the rabbit hole.
I just felt I had to put some passion behind what I was feeling there.
Well, you deserve it because you haven't been someone who over pulls the political lever. I don't know what I'm saying.
Larry Harold says, just watched I Wish I Was Bitter, or rather, I wish I was/were bitter, and I'm all confused. Is the monster named Funnystein? Is that the doctor who created him? Help me out, Mr. Karloff.
I'll tell you, it really confuses me every time. I still have a problem with the fact I almost want to rewrite the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can't name it the monster.
Yeah, but in Mary Shelley's, it's not named. It's not named either.
Yes, it's not named either. But the name of the book is Frankenstein.
Yes.
It's a conundrum, if that's the right word.
Well, the best joke is still Joseph Scrimshaw.
What's that?
Which I've told you many times, and it gets a laugh every time. Frankenstein is the doctor's name. The monster is the person who corrects you.
Wait a second. Is that a comedian?
Yes.
So great. The monster is someone who corrects you. I forgot that one. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. The monster is the person. And then you can't top that.
Larry Harold he PS'd his tweet with P.S. I loved it, Andy, in reference to your album.
Oh, thank you. Is this? Yeah.
Michael O'Connor says, hi, guys. Longtime listener. Love the podcast. Thought you might enjoy watching Have a Good Trip, Adventures in Psychedelics on Netflix if you haven't already.
I would. I will do it. Is it it's a documentary about psychedelics?
Indeed.
I watch almost everything that's ever come out about that, so I'll check it out.
Greg Kelly says, I'm watching the Survivor finale tonight and was really impressed that James Mason made it to the final vote. Any reflections on your experience on the island?
I don't know. How did it go for you?
Well, I must admit it was a grueling several weeks. Not so much the physical challenge, but the company. The company was atrocious. I was surrounded by buffoons and attention seekers.
Yeah, but you signed up for it, didn't you?
Well, yes, it was a thing with my agent. I owed him money.
See? You only have yourself to blame, James. But even, you know what, though? Even as you're complaining, you sound so elegant.
Why, thank you. You can't... eating a few bugs isn't going to change my spirit.
You know what? You classed up that show, James Mason.
I'd like to think so. Thank you very much. Actually, Pete Chowto says, I waited until Wednesday to buy Andy's new album because I wanted to give you guys something to talk about on Hump Day. Did it work?
You mean,
did you get your Pete Chowto alert when it happened on Wednesday?
I did. It said, it's unbelievable that that you're able to know the names and addresses of everyone who's purchased your item. I mean, I still don't know. I don't even know how much I've sold. I'm afraid to look because I don't think I should look because it's not about that.
Where can you look?
I just go, I guess AST Records will tell me. Their accountant.
Gotcha. Are you sure? Because it's usually like a quarterly or semi-annual report sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to know how. I just think if I call up somebody like one of those guys, go, how do we do that first weekend? Someone will have a thing.
Probably so. Mozart says, let me ask you this, Thought Spiral. Seeing as how MASH is one of our favorite shows, it was on for 2 hours after school throughout my youth, and I watched every day while doing my homework. What are some of your favorite MASH moments, comedy or tragedy?
They're all pretty much like, I love a lot of the radar things when it goes, the men hate my guts, the men hate me. No, just your guts, sir. I think maybe my favorite episode is the when they teach radar to say things. Bach, that whole thing. Where he's supposed to Bach. Yeah, I love that.
I like a lot of things. Let me think. I like the first MASH moment I remember seeing was as a very little kid in a hotel room when we were on a trip, and it was the one where they flew Henry's prized desk off with a helicopter.
Yeah.
I like, I'm just going for random what goes into my head. I like Father Mulcahy giving a tracheotomy. I like a lot of Charles Emerson Winchester. I thought that was a great character, Charles Emerson Winchester.
I like when they had that thing where they were all singing one night, it's like a summer camp, and Radar does a good Father Mulcahy. Jocularity.
Right. Sous Vide says all day today they are featuring James Mason movies. James, any thoughts on working with Brando and Julius Caesar?
Well, let me just say here before James gets started, he was a pleasure. He was a gentleman. And I recommended him for Survivor.
Well, I must say that Marlon Brando is a tremendous actor, but a massive pain in the ass. Really, really difficult to be around. Very talented, very difficult.
He's a handful.
I don't know what you're talking about there, James. I thought we had a really good thing going there.
I like the way you are wielding together like a story that goes from different impressions.
I made a little sketch for you. I took a couple of pieces. I made a little sketch.
Yes, you did, Marlon. You made a little sketch. Isn't that delightful?
Yeah, don't fucking patronize me, James.
Jumpy Bean says, yay, we have chunks and hence the humor. Next, could there be a collaboration on Quarantine, the Broadway musical?
I hope nothing comes out of this quarantine like a musical. There's nothing I want to relive about it. Yet.
I think there will be a musical that's broadcast on Zoom or something like that.
Yeah.
There'll be that. Someone will make that.
I didn't watch that whole Byron. It was like a Byron Allen thing, and I didn't watch any of that. A couple of seconds of that. Wasn't it like comedians making people, like a benefit on TV?
I don't know.
No, I thought everyone was Feeding the Hungry. It was called, or something like that.
Yeah, no, don't know.
Well, you're already behind. You're already behind in the past on your on all of the Zoom offerings.
Damn it, all the hell. Greg Kelly says, I'm watching a 1983 game show called The Match Game / Hollywood Squares Hour, hosted by Bowser from Sha Na Na in a suit, and with guest star Jay Leno. My question, does Jay still have his Match Game, the Hollywood Squares Hour money?
I think it's an excellent joke because you certainly did not. I didn't see that coming.
Son of Johansson II says, if you had to write a Sherlock Holmes-esque story, what is the cause of death in your murder mystery?
I would probably go with cocaine.
I would go hit by a car by someone who thinks they have OCD.
Now that would be in my wheelhouse. I like drug things, and I like when people die of drugs and you don't know why, and then they discover later with the autopsy something goes nuts.
Yeah, it always seems like a cheap thing, though.
It's true.
Things that have to happen off camera are rarely good writing.
Yeah.
Terry Caulfield says, howdy, boys. Long time no tweet. If you were both single, how well do you think you would navigate the murky waters of dating in quarantine?
I think I would be dead or shot from some kind of date I went on.
Well, let me just say that if your nose and mouth are as good looking as your eyes, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
What's that from?
That's me dating in quarantine.
You're quite a charmer.
Why, thank you. If I told you I had a giant penis, would you hold it 6 feet away from me?
Would it make you upset if it was it was big, but also it was very soft? Would that concern you? Hello?
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 Christy W. says, concerned that Andy says kvelling like a shiksa. Kvelling. Don't roll your eyes, Josh, but I'd recommend British police procedural Life on Mars for Andy. 2006 Manchester detective has an accident and wakes up in 1973. Music to Die For, currently on BritBox.
What's the name of that one?
Life on Mars.
I'll check it out. Yeah. I forgot the first part of the letter. What happened at the beginning?
You're saying kvelling wrong.
Oh. Am I saying kvelling?
You're saying kvelling and not kvelling.
And what is kvelling?
Yeah, it's KV.
Okay. Well, now she's the monster. I'm not kidding.
That's right, exactly.
Kvelling. Okay.
M. Ledsome says, hi, guys. Happy quarantine. Love that you love Elvis Costello, too, J. Elvis. I caught one of his shows just before UK lockdown. Who are you looking forward to see performing again when the chaos abates? Apart from each other, obviously.
I haven't been to a concert. I mean, like comedy-wise or music-wise? I haven't been to a concert in so long.
Well, do you have a comedy answer then?
I would like to see anybody who I would just like to be with people in a room, but not like a Wisconsin dream.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'd love.
The things.
I'd love to see me performing again.
Yeah, and I would like to. It's like I'm going to get sad when there's nothing left to watch, which will take a long time for me.
A.D. Morgan says the lighthouse is finished. Because you've been so supportive, I am writing this live so you can be present for the first test of the big lamp. Here goes. Throwing the giant switch. It works. Wait, it's off. It's on again. No, off again. On. Off. I gave it the best read I could.
I think you did a good job. I think you stuck with it.
Guy Incognito says, if Mike Lindell were sadly to catch a case of coronavirus and someone had to be his caretaker in Washington, D.C., do you know if you have COVID-19 and the pillowcase is machine washable? I won't catch the coronavirus because I'm right with the Bible.
Well, I'm still looking. I still want someone to follow up on whether he's
God
made one
watches
match.
out over the pillow makers. Jesus said that himself. God bless the pillow makers. Guy Incognito also says, I've noticed everyone's pets going sort of stir-crazy lately during the age of quarantine. What would James Mason sound like if he was doing Andy's limp penis material?
Oh, I can't. I think I can take it. Right. Do I have to be here for this?
Well, that question doesn't work for me. Just like my penis.
That's a hard thing that you had to put James Mason and me together.
I find that off-putting. Just like Andy's penis.
Hey, not everything is, a lot of people are out of work these days.
Just not Andy's penis. I did lean each time I did that, by the way.
Wonderful.
I did a Kindler lean each time. Dana Schwartz says, these are such difficult times for my penis. And new comedy albums are just what the country needs right now. Thank you both for your service. In fact, I bought Hence the Chunks, and I couldn't keep it down.
Wow. I like that joke. I'm going to sign off on that joke. That's like the circus, the old joke about circus buffet. All you can keep down for $9.95.
Dan Wade says, Josh, I'd invite you to be a guest on my Freezer podcast, but it got kicked off iTunes for having sub-0 stars.
This is people really put a lot of, not a lot of work into it.
I don't know that took a lot. I don't know that took a lot of work.
No, it was a decent amount. It took an effort.
In fact, Dan, that's a good tweet if it didn't take a lot of work. Natweet Bahara is back in the fold to say Trump says the Pentagon has developed a new super-duper missile. What is this guy, Bazooka Joe?
It's a super-duper missile coming up next on Please Go Shooting! It's a big missile! It's got a tank in it, and it shoots out all sorts of acid, and it will burn your face when you look at it, and you can't run because it's super duper fast. It's super duper fast. It will circle the earth 4 times before you can zip up your fly. It's a super duper missile, and I just need $6 trillion, and you can have 2% of the collateral damage. Coming up next on Please Go Shooting!
I enjoyed that.
I'm glad. And I think that's our show for the night. People, it's very exciting times when an Andy Kindler album is out.
Second week.
Hence the humor, available on all your streaming outlets. If you want to support our show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral. Or if you want some merch for your money, go to zazzle.com/thought_spiral. If you want to get a hold of us during the week, thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com. And that's it.
Oh, I just thought of one thing that would...
And Chunks.
And Chunks. I did think of the first thing I would do, though.
What would you do? I
would go on a Thought Spiral cruise.
Thought Spiral cruise. Did I tell you my joke?
What's that?
There's people booking cruises already. You might as well book yourself on the HMS Beagle because you're going to see Darwin at work.
Is that the name of his thing?
Yeah, that was a ship.
Oh, my. You are... Do you realize that you could... the sophisticated venues you can play with that joke?
I'm going to end the show now, but Andy, if you'll stay on the line, I just want to ask you one thing about...